playoffs.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am your host for now, forever. I don't know. There was no basketball on yesterday, so we don't have anything to talk about that's happened. But there is some interesting games happening tonight, and that is the final playing games to determine the 8 seeds in both conferences. That is the Dallas Mavericks against the Memphis Grizzlies and the Miami Heat against the Atlanta Hawks. The first game of the night is the Atlanta Hawks versus the Miami Heat. So we're going to start with that one. Chill. What do you think is going to happen tonight?
I think that Tyler Hero went to Bam, who I may have overrated this season because I was really excited about him, what he had done in the Olympics. I had Bam as an all-pro coming into this season. It didn't really work out that way. I had a bunch of inconsistencies with him, but I think Tyler Hero went to Bam after that Chicago Bulls game and said, I got us a game, your turn. And I think that Bam now has to take advantage of what Tyler Hero did in Chicago, where he could take advantage of their front line. Bam has shown me throughout the course of the season, not the entire season because there's been a lot of inconsistencies, but Bam has shown me throughout the course of the season that he can give me a big game. He can give me a monster game, a 28-15 game. He could give me a 30-13 and 3-block game. And I think that's the kind of production that I'm going to get from him tonight, particularly with having a Kongwu on him. I think that the Miami Heat take advantage of Atlanta's size. I think Khalil Ware is going to run the floor like he did against Chicago, and I think that he's going to be big in this game, particularly around the basket. I think Atlanta's going to try to force him into shots on the perimeter and keep him away from the basket because he's a rook, because he's young. I think they're going to be a lot more physical with him. I'm not sure that that's going to work. Miami does a good job on Trae Young when it comes to blitzes, and that's largely due to Bam. The same logic that I had when they just played against Orlando, I think that's the same logic that I have with Trae Young in this game. I am particularly fond of Trae Young getting off the. If I'm the opposing team, I'm fond of Trae getting off the ball and making those other guys make shots, and that's the game plan tonight. Making those other guys make shots, and Miami building the lead. And with Miami building the lead now, that speeds up Trae Young to take ill-advised shots. As long as Miami can keep their offense steady, I think that they handle Atlanta tonight.
Swiper.
Candidate for worst playing game in the last 4 years.
Garbage. Swipe, a quick question for you before you go any further. Quick question for you is: should the play-in tournament be a case-by-case basis? Can we scrap it 1 year? Can we go, you know what, we ain't doing it this year?
I feel like the Eastern Conference should no longer have a play-in. I feel like that would be fair. I feel like if you don't win 41 games, I feel like it's very difficult for me to concede the idea that you deserve to make a playoffs because of a glitch run. But I mean, it's just the formatting. But the Eastern Conference is just so mid, and I would love to talk about Arturas Karnisova's comments yesterday about the Bulls and their their drafting strategies and what they're not doing and what they're focused on at some point. But yeah, I mean, I think the Heat should win, but I think the Heat should win. They should win this game. I mean, I really don't have a lot of more comments about it than that. I think the Heat should win the game.
What did he say?
Essentially, the reporter asked him a fire question, just like very direct, like you all have been in the same place and have basically not gotten any better. Your strategy has basically implemented much of nothing. And then he basically said that NBA history shows that you need to be in the top 5 of the draft to get quality players. And he's saying that, like, you're basically so mid every year. Like, what is it? Why is that your focus? Like, why are you continuing to kind of walk this line? But then he basically said that, we just have Mars. Honestly, it was like a bunch of nothing. But he basically said, we just have our own strategy for how we want to cultivate our environment, our culture, and the kind of players we want on our roster. But he didn't want to answer the question directly in some way because, you do need to tank to get talent on the roster. But he's also like trying to compete enough to be in the playoffs and push for like the play-in. But the problem is they're in this continual loop of mediocrity, and the team
sounds like what I said. So that's what it sounds like, Swipe. Because I said so, kind of answers. I'm not getting any direct answers. I'm not getting
Yeah.
anything concrete on what the plan is moving forward. Why did you draft this guy? What's the plan in terms of getting out of the play-in? What makes you guys better? It's more of a, we're doing it our way. So essentially because I said so. So,
yeah,
I mean,
we're doing it our way. They said they're trying to cultivate winning with players that have like won or have experience and all this other stuff. It's very like Calvin Booth-ish in some ways, of like older, players that have like a tenure and all that stuff in college. But honestly, like, it's just, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the organization. I feel bad for the fans of that team, because the Bulls have some of the most loyal fans, like, in the
number
NBA.
one, this league, number one in attendance, Wiper. Number one in attendance this season. So I know that sounds ridiculous, but yes, number one in attendance. But I would like to say, and Mars, you just alluded to both Atlanta and Miami. As bad as this play-in tournament is, right? And as bad, I don't think the Miami Heat are a playoff team. I'm not going to argue that. I don't think that they're a playoff team. I don't think that when you're 8-9 games under 500, you should be in contention. Same logic with the Atlanta Hawks. When you 5-6 games under 500, I don't think you're a play-in team. But I also think that the Miami Heat, with the unit that they have and how they're put together, I really feel like they're a league guard away from really challenging in the Eastern Conference. And I don't think that they need like an elite lead guard like Luka or something like that. No, I don't think that they need something to that effect. I think something, I don't think Ja is the answer, but not Tyrese Halliburton either. I just feel like that they're right there on a cusp. If they could just fill this spot right here with a solid lead guard, I think that they could be right back in the top 5 in the East and really competing for the Eastern Conference Championship. Because I feel like their team can be predicated on defense. You already got your 2 guard spots sold up, and that's in Tyler Hero. You got your small forward spot sold up in Aaron Wiggins. You got him at the same age that you got Jimmy Butler. He's 29 years old. You've moved Bam to the 4, which is where I think he can be the most effective. And now you got your 5-man in Khalil Ware, who's actually turned into a damn good player. He's in contention for Rookie of the Year. If you can sew up the lead guard spot and not necessarily a star, Halliburton, Luka, SGA, I don't think that you need something to that effect, but something where you got a legit lead guard, not LaMelo neither, something legit where you got a distributor, a guy who takes care of the basketball, who can score it. I don't need 30 a game from the lead guard spot neither. My team is going to be predicated on getting buckets, but holding teams down too, like one between 110 and between 108 and like 112. That's what we are. And we're holding teams to about 105, stuff like that. That's what we're holding teams to. And we're an elite defense. I don't think that they're that far away. I can't say that about a lot of play-in teams, because I think there are a lot of play-in teams that are bad. But in this particular situation, I don't really feel like Miami is that far away.
So Miami, they're currently 8th in defense on the year.
Yeah.
And they are, well, this is dunks and threes. I always use this. It's always adjusted for schedule and everything.
Sure.
And then they're 21st in offense.
Right. So we're having I feel like we're having a legit lead guard. Maybe Jamal Murray? No, because Jamal Murray Jamal Murray isn't the distributor that I'm looking for, because I need a passer too, right?
Josh Giddey.
To be honest with you, Mars, and he's already spoken for in Chicago, but I don't hate that. I really don't hate Josh Giddey at the lead guard spot in Miami. I got a big lead guard who can pass, get downhill, score it at the rim. He's
I don't
young.
think they need a lead guard, chill. Know who they need?
I don't know who they need.
Dale Ellis, chill.
If you had Dale Ellis,
years up on Dale Ellis, chill.
If you had Dale Ellis,
that man lied to you and said he didn't know who Dale Ellis, chill. Come on, man.
Hey, unfortunately, I have to deal with stuff like that all the time. Hey, OG, do you know who Alex English is? I don't know who Alex. I got to deal with stuff like that. But I don't want to I don't want to derail the conversation, Mars. What I want to say is, like, teams like, for example, Dallas. Like, we know Dallas is in the play-in tournament, and we know that Dallas has been decimated by injury. Once they get Kyrie Irving back, who we're anticipating him being back by January, they get Kyrie Irving, that's what the consensus.
He tore his ACL in March.
Mm-hmm.
And
9 months isn't.
Yeah, but
crazy.
It's not a death sentence like it used to be. It's not.
No, but I don't even know if he plays next year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to see it to believe it. He's 33 right now. I think he's 33 currently, and he's a super twitchy player. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a lot to ask for.
And remember what we dealing with too, Swiper. We're not dealing with, we're not dealing with technology like it was in 1995 or 2003. No, technology is way different today.
Is there a guard like that? That's a guard that's come back in less than a year as of recent? Because I know Levine took over.
How long did Jamal Murray take?
April 2nd to April 2nd, 21 to October 23.
Jesus. Okay.
I think here's the thing. I think they held him out. I think that
he held himself out. He wasn't 100. He didn't feel comfortable. He wasn't healthy. He didn't feel healthy. Remember, they tried to bring him back to 21-22 year or 22. No. They tried to bring him back for the March. What year was that?
Well, he got hurt in
2021. So they tried to bring him back for 21-22.
Season. He missed the next season.
Yeah. So he definitely wanted it. I don't know. I just think that that's a lot to ask for. I think personally. Well, I'm trying to think of another guard that's like torn their ACL and come back in less than a year, and then been effective, been good.
These are the reports that Kyrie Irving could be back by January. I think that's asking a lot, but I don't think he's missing the whole season next year. I don't. I do think that he's going to try to make his way back. And I brought Kyrie Irving up to say, when you talk about Dallas, that they are their lead guard away from really challenging in the Western Conference. If Kyrie Irving is healthy, if you consider what that team looked like with the 2-guard spot, with Anthony Davis, with that front line, the 3 of those guys, the bigs that they have, with their rotation guys, they're not that far away from really having a shot at the Western Conference. I feel like Miami is in a position where you shore up that lead guard spot. You got, and I think that they could use some rotation guys too. But if you show up that lead guard spot, you guys, I think you got a real shot in the Western Conference. But it's obvious the glaring hole at the lead guard spot, because Davion Mitchell, who I was a big fan of Davion Mitchell, he's a backup. I don't think Davion Mitchell is a starter. I was wrong about him. I thought Davion Mitchell was going to come into the league. He kind of reminded me. He gave me Drew Holiday, Joe Dumars vibes. No, that's not what it is with him at all. So, unfortunately, this Miami Heat team, I do think that they're going to beat Atlanta tonight. I think that they end up moving on to the playoffs. And it says a lot about what the playoffs is when you got a team that's 9 games under 500 making the playoffs.
I think it'll be the first time a 9-10 seed has made it. A 10 seed. Were Miami the 10 seed?
Yes.
Or were they the 9 seed?
They were the 10 seed. No, they were the 10
championship year?
No, I'm talking about this year. They're the 10 seed, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be the first time the 10 seed makes it if they make it. So, shout out to them for making history. We do have a couple super chats, which I think makes sense.
It's too early for super chats.
I'm the host.
You have to wait.
I'm the host. Pimp named Slickback said, has anyone seen the empty Marlins Stadium or how bad NHL ratings are versus the NBA? It's funny how people claim the NBA is losing popularity when these other leagues are worse. Why does the media only focus on the NBA's flaws?
And it's crazy how they basically conned South Florida into building an arena for the Miami Marlins, and it's empty. I'm a Mets fan, so in the NHL, I don't know if you know this, Miles, but they had to cancel their season. They had a lockout season. They ended up canceling their season. This wasn't too long ago. Like the whole season was canceled. Yes, that doesn't happen in pro basketball. Like when you have labor issues, that can ruin a league where you have to cancel the entire season. That happened with the NHL.
I could share this chat right here. The Marlins have been horrible for years. Even when they have Giancarlo Stanton, they didn't sell out their stadium. They've had low attendance. Seattle's had low attendance too. Like there are a lot of NHL teams struggle filling those stadiums up because baseball is like usually the 3rd most popular sport in a major city. Yep. If that, they don't have a lot of. Baseball also has the worst marketing pitch. Mars, I don't know if you know this. They have the worst marketing pitch in sports in America, basically, because their audience is like the oldest audience of any demographic in the U.S. And so they just don't connect with younger fans at all in any way, shape, or form. And in particularly diverse background. And all
I know that. I don't watch that sport, so they haven't appealed to me.
I don't start watching until after the season. Until after the All-Star break. I'll be lying because the Mets have let me down so much. So I don't start watching until after the All-Star break.
Okay, well, be a Rockies fan. At least you have Mike Piazza.
No idea who that is. The Arbiter sent an empty super chat. Shout out to the Arbiter.
Thank you,
But then
sir.
he followed that up with another super chat. So I think he meant to send a message. He just messed up. But now we've got $20 of your money. So shout out to you. The arbiter said first donor on any platform. Shout out to you. He said shout out the panel. In you guys' opinion, what's the best option for the Magic as an offensive-minded guard and realistic trade options? Paolo and Franz are soon to be the best two-wing duo.
Two-way
duo. Thank you. Two-way duo. Yeah. So, what realistic guard options do you have for Orlando?
What's wrong with the guard? What's wrong with the guard that they have? What's wrong with Jalen Suggs?
They can't score. That's the they need offense.
Jamal Murray, Kobe White. Those are probably the two easiest options for them. Anthony Simon. Somebody else said it.
Mars, what happened to the idea of? And I never understood this because we live in such a quick fix society. Like, I mean, how many years are we now with Jalen Suggs? Are we in year what? 3?
Year 4. He's in year 4.
So year 4. So probably by next year, and you know how I feel about the 5-year deal. Like by next year, by year 5, this is probably who you are, right? So, if I can't get him to be a better scorer, and when I say a better scorer, I'm thinking like I need my lead guard in the game today. If we're going to be an elite team, you have to average anywhere between 18 to 22. Like
that's
15,
not gonna happen.
Like 15 to 16, that's not and if you 15, 16 a game, your ass better be an elite distributor like Tyrese Halliburton. Like if you averaging 17 or 18, you better be a 10 to 12 dimes a game guy. That's what you better be. And if you're not that, then I need 18 to 22 if we're going to be an elite team. Like if we're an average team, okay, sure. That's what we're going to be. We're going to be average. Is Jalen Suggs, can I get 18 to 22 a game from him? And Miles, when you
it'll be a bad 18 to 22.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you quickly tell me that that's not going to happen. But I mean, I seen Anthony Edwards go from being an average long ball shooter to being an elite long ball shooter. And again, Miles, this is a guy who's in year 4. He was never this good as a long ball shooter, ever. We go from that to now being an elite long ball shooter.
That can't be the expectation, though. Like, you've seen one drastic turnaround, so like that's just what I expect from all my young guys. Then you're just going to be setting up everyone for failure. Not everyone can be Anthony Edwards and just turn into the best pull-up three-point shooter in the NBA in year 5. Not everyone can do that.
And I'm not asking, and again, what I'm not asking you to do is I'm not asking you to be the best league guard in the game, but I think Jalen Suggs is averaging like what, 13 or 14 a game, something like that.
He averaged an inefficient 16.
So he averaging 16 a game. So can I get a more efficient 18 a game? Now, even though that's only one more bucket, right? It's only one more bucket, but can I get an efficient 18 a game? Better shot quality, right? Better shot diet. That comes from work in the summer. That comes from getting better. That comes from watching film, knowing where your spots are, knowing where to get to, and being a better scorer. Because again, even though I think that 18 to 22 as one of the better guards in the game on an elite team is the expectation, if I can get you to get in better spots, if I can get you to be more efficient by watching more film, there's no reason for me to think that Orlando can't be that if I'm asking my league guard to improve as a scorer. Or is he just
him to improve?
Or is he just who he is? Because it sounds to me, Mars, like he's just, this is him.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna get that.
He's a elite defensive guard who can shoot the 3 off the catch.
Yeah.
He's not a creator. He's not even really a point guard.
Their offense is also better without Jalen Suggs this year.
Paolo and Franz do more ball handling than Jalen Suggs does. He's an off-ball point guard. That's what he is.
He's like 2 guards.
He's like Lonzo Ball. That's what he is. Just way worse.
That's what he should be. He should be a combo guard, additional guard on the court, a secondary ball handler. They need a primary ball handler.
That is what he is. I mean, like if you look at his boss reference page, his rookie year he's a point guard. The next 2 years he's a 2 guard. This year he's a point guard. Like he's an off-ball guard. That's what. So
they're using him. So they're using him wrong. So he should be playing off the basketball. That's what
they use him that way now. He's just listed as a point guard, but they use him off the ball now. Paolo and Franz have the ball. Jalen Suggs plays off of them. That's what he does. Like he's not. But most teams run that way. Like someone has to be listed as the point guard.
Yep.
But like Drew Holiday's listed as the Boston Celtics point guard. He plays off the ball. Jason Tatum's their ball handler. So like it's not what it used to be, where the point guard is the primary decision maker and ball handler. Like that.
I think there are guards that are just they can be. I think like the Celtics, Derek White and Drew Holiday. I think they're what you would call a combo guard in the league now. They're just able to play on the ball. They're able to play off the ball. I think SGA is a a combo guard. He plays point guard. He can be a point guard,
Mhm.
but he can also play off and on the ball. And I think honestly, like Jalen Suggs would best thrive in that environment. Like I said, I brought up like CP3 the other day, but if they just even added like something like him, like just for a year, you know, just to be able to help them learn how to play offense, I think that'd be really beneficial for them. Because some of this is like playmaking, initiating offense, starting an offense, like finding passing lanes, creating advantages. Like that's just what a point guard does. Like, you know, like it's just Jalen is not as naturally equipped to do that, but I think you have to learn how to do that. I think Chris Paul helped SGA learn how to do it. Like, you know, you have to develop that over time. And I just think they've been lacking that for some time. Even Cole Anthony's a scoring guard. Like he's not even like a traditional playmaking floor setter.
Well, you can't be in today's game just a primary passer. I'm past that point. Mars, you and I actually had this conversation about John Stockton and the idea that he couldn't be just relegated to just being a distributor in today's game. You have to be able to score as a lead guard. You have to. And I don't mean in spaces where it's only getting open jump shots or kickouts. No, you have to be aggressive with the basketball. You got to be able to get downhill. You got to be able to get to the rim. You got to be able to exploit mismatches. You have to be able to do that in today's game. Well, if Jalen Suggs at the lead guard spot, if he plays off the basketball, to your point, then maybe we need to get a point guard in here. Yes, maybe we do need to get a primary ball handler in here who can, because I think the archetype for Orlando is Darius Garland. I think that somebody like him would be great. I mean, I don't think that Cleveland's coming off of him, but I think that kind of archetype for them would be great. A guy who's good with the ball, takes care of the basketball. In addition to taking care of the basketball, he can get to the basket and he can score with the best of them.
You know what we need to get in here? We need to get in our special guest of the day, former NBA player, Gonzaga legends, as I would call him. Austin Daye. Austin, welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Back in the field.
We cannot complain. We were just talking about the Orlando Magic and what we think they need to do to shore up their point guard or backcourt situation to give Paolo and Franz some more help offensively. Is there any ideas you have for what Orlando might need in that position?
I mean, the guy that I honestly would have liked is already in Chicago. Honestly, I think Giddey would have been like that one guy that'd be really good with them as far as like size and be able to pass the ball, like you guys are saying. He's also shown that he can score a little bit more than I think what people think, you know, being a big guard. So I think someone like that, but I mean, it's obviously hard to find someone tall and a playmaker, but, you know, just you guys said Darius Garland, I heard earlier. I like that. I like that type of play, but, you know, it's hard to get guys like that because point guard spot in the league, as far as like the premium point guards, are hard to get. So I don't know what will happen through a trade or, you know, maybe in free agency, someone may come available, but yeah, someone like that would definitely help them for sure. Because I like Carter. I like Carter, their center. I like those two wings, and I mean Cole Anthony come off the bench is like a valuable piece. So we'll see what kind of happens in the next year or so. But I like that team for sure.
My concern with Giddey is like they're like the worst shooting team in the league. Do you want to add Josh Giddey to that? Like,
I mean, I think with time, like as far as the pieces, I think you can add more shooting pieces. I don't think that necessarily. I think it's easier to find 3-and-D guys than it is to find guys like Josh Giddey that can make plays for Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. But like you're saying, for sure, shooting is a big thing. But I don't think Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero aren't going to improve from three-point line as years go on. I honestly think they'll get much better.
Swiper, wasn't that the plan? Wasn't that the plan when they brought in KCP? I mean, that was the plan, to have a guy who stretched the defense, and he was doing that with Denver. Okay, sure, I'm getting different looks when I'm running with Joker, no doubt about that. But the way that the offense is constructed in Orlando, with both Franz and Paolo having the basketball in their hands, I think that you can have a better. I think that you got good shot creators. A shot creator in Paolo who is a lot better than we give him credit for. So why wasn't KCP better? Is it because of the offense and the way it was constructed? Do we not have enough ball movement? Mars, I can appreciate your logic that we don't have shooters. We could have shooters, but if we only got 5 guys standing around the perimeter and we got no action, we got nobody running anything for anybody, we don't know how to get these guys in spaces where they're most effective, it doesn't make a difference how good of the shooters that we have. I
mean, some of this is, I think, when you're in a different situation, like KCP had the shot quality he got with LeBron and with Jokic. Well, and then to be fair, like Murray and Bruce Brown and all that, Aaron Gordon, like he was surrounded by passing. I think, with the Lakers, he had Rajon Rondo and LeBron, and even Anthony Davis out of the post that year. I think there's a lot of players that are on the roster to help him, and I think now it's just a much different kind of offense. The spacing isn't there. The opportunities don't come in the same way. It's not a natural flow of the offense like it was in these other places. So I think Orlando fans have been livid about his play all year because they don't feel like the contract has been worth it at all. He's making $22 million a year and honestly not giving you much of offense at all. And he's just adding to an already elite defense, which would still be really good without him.
Right.
So he functionally hasn't raised the boat for them. Ideally, they said, hey, let's get another 3-and-D player that can hit some threes. But this is the second time they've done this, though. They took Gary Harris, too, because they thought they were going to get
He's
that.
still there, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they got KCP because they thought he'd be a step up from that. But they're both underperforming in the role because primarily, like I said, I genuinely believe that the two players that I'll go after all the time is CP3. I think he'd be the easiest one to get. And then I would go after Fred VanVleet if I was them, should they not retain his rights this year, which I don't know, Mars. Maybe they don't. But
that contract looking pretty good, Mars. I mean,
44 million a year.
That contract is looking. That contract ain't looking bad.
44. Nah, that's a lot.
You're the same. You guys are the same ones. Mars in particular is the one who said to me, when VanVleet's on the floor, you win.
That doesn't mean he's worth 40 million. Like he's been good for Houston. The contract is not looking good. No, that's two different things. He's been good, but if he does resign in Houston, it's going to be for way less money. Way less. But shout out to him for getting that bread that he just got. But
3 years, 130.
That's not happening again. There's no way that's happening again.
But I'm trying to think of somebody that would actually help them like raise their floor is the real question. And so those are the immediate players that jump off my brain that I think would get, and that would be serviceable.
What do you think? I mean, I don't think Atlanta's going to come off Trae Young anytime soon, but I don't know. With how they're doing, they've been in that mediocre spot for so long, but they do have Jackson who's hurt too. Jackson or Johnson?
Jalen Johnson. Yeah, Jalen Johnson. Yep, he's been hurt, so it hasn't been. It hasn't.
Yeah, I don't know what Atlanta have going on personally. It's just hard to figure that out.
Well, Mars,
Orlando's in a bad spot.
I like Trae Young a lot, so we'll see.
Is Atlanta? I mean, like when you think about what Atlanta has. Okay, so you got Trae, you got Jalen Johnson, you had DeAndre Hunter, so you move off of him for Karis LeVert, right? You still need to show up. You still need to show up that 5 spot with Clinton Capella. Okongwu is actually starting to turn around and turn into a solid player, right? He actually is doing that, right?
A lot of opportunity and feeling comfortable.
And then you have your rotation guys in Bogey. You got your rotation guys in Bogey, Karis, and Bogey, Karis, and the other shooter that they had, George Niang. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So you have that. If you have Jalen Johnson available, right? If you have Jalen Johnson available, you got Trae. We still need to shore up the 2-guard spot. I still think that we need to shore up the 2-guard spot, even though this is one of the more talented teams that Trae Young, if not the most talented team that Trae Young has been on. I still think that we need to shore up the 2-guard spot. We need to upgrade at the 5 spot. I think Okongwu is more of a 4 than he is a 5.
Yeah, size-wise.
Yeah, I think he's more of a 4 than he is a 5. And I think he can be more of a stretch 4 than he is like one of those brute 4s.
Like you don't see him as like a Bam turning into like a Bam.
No, I don't think he's that good. No, I don't think he's that good. And I know Dyson Daniels is at the 2. I mean, Dyson is like 6'8". Like he ain't a small dude.
No, he's good.
And I love the fact that Atlanta, when Trae is off the floor, they move Dyson to the lead guard spot. Right. I like that because it works. The question is, and I'm going to ask you guys this: do we call up New Orleans and check their temperature on Zion?
Yeah, of course.
I would, but I hope you know that means Jalen Johnson gonna have to.
They can't
hit him up, Mars.
I hope it's probably. I don't know what you're asking. Ricochet or Jalen Johnson.
Capella and some picks.
Like look, it's
I don't know if the Hawks have picks.
Well, they got picks back in the Dyson deal. No, they They did get picked back in the Dyson
This is
deal.
why this is great. If they lose, if they lose, just so you guys know, if they lose to Miami, that lottery pick that they're gonna end up with, that goes to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
San
gonna be the
Antonio is
number one pick.
100%. San Antonio is 100% rooting for the Miami Heat. So that just makes it even worse. So I like Zion in Atlanta, but I just like I like the dynamic of this crew currently. I just think that with Jalen Johnson going out, that's a top 5 team in the East, man. I do.
What?
Right where? So Indiana,
Yeah,
Indiana, Milwaukee, Detroit. That's where Atlanta is if Jalen Johnson is healthy.
below all
The
of
whole
them, yeah.
season.
Below all of them.
I think that they were at one point they were the 6th seed.
Okay, but then you're still the Boston.
You keep
Celtics,
telling me
the
that, and I
Knicks,
keep telling you they were like
and
500. They were
and
below
and the
500.
Cleveland
Being the
Cavaliers,
6th
the
seed
6th
doesn't
teams, they're
mean
all
much.
better
They
than
were
them.
below 500.
And with them being below 500,
And then the Magic, you
don't
didn't even
forget-
say that. You didn't say Orlando Magic. Magic are better than them.
and with them being at 500, don't forget, Mars, how bad the East was early.
That's my
And then
point. So you
but
keep
then
saying
they-
6 seed. The East
Right.
suck.
But then they got better. But then
But chill. I just named 7 teams that are objectively better than them, though. At least those.
Yeah, but he said I think
Orlando
Mark
injury
said
crisis, and they
that
still
balance.
finished with the Hawks.
But if they got Zion, they would be way better though. Like forget Jalen Johnson. Like they're way better. With
Yeah,
Zion,
I was just
bro.
about to say that, Chill. I was just about to
Yeah,
say,
with
like,
Zion, they're way better. But this current Hawks team is not no top 5 seed as currently constructed.
No,
Health or
no,
no health. Orlando healthier, better than Atlanta. Detroit healthier, better than Atlanta. Milwaukee, Indiana, Knicks, Boston, and Cleveland
with Dame
are
and
clearly
Giannis,
better.
I won't argue that point.
They're like that.
But
Yeah,
we
best team in the
also
East.
don't know what Jalen Johnson would have been at the end of the season, like right now.
He was on his way to being an all-star, though, as good as he was.
ah, Chill.
He's
Yeah,
playing
I
great.
don't know
He was
if he's gonna be
playing
an
great.
This is the
all-star.
first
But I
I
don't
mean,
know if he's
Zachary
gonna be an all-star.
Ricochet's good too.
20 and 10.
Yes. A lot of freedom.
19,
he got a lot of
19,
freedom.
19.
Got a chance to blossom this year. Like I really think he could have been a chance if they were
And
early
5
on. If they
assists.
would have stuck up to like that 4th, 5th spot,
Yep.
he would have a chance. He would have a chance.
No, but I guess how would they have? So just the 4th, 5th this whole year has been Pacers and then Bucks and then Dame goes down and then it's Pacers, like the Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Detroit. All like basically since the quarter of the season on, they've all been objectively better than any version of the Atlanta Hawks this year, even with Jalen Johnson, or even if they kept DeAndre Hunter. Like the Pacers are. I mean, I think the Pacers are outright better. I don't know who disagrees with that up here, but like just across the board,
I think the
they're just a
Pacers are better
basketball
than Atlanta.
I think the Bucks are better.
I think the
I
Bucks.
think they got. I think the Bucks got better talent with both Giannis and Dame. I won't that point. I won't argue. I think they got better. I think they got better talent.
And then I
Detroit.
think Detroit's also
I
better.
mean, can we have a conversation about Detroit?
Cade
Atlanta,
Cade
Wow.
Cunningham,
Wow.
Cade Cunningham
Atlanta
is
is
better
healthy-
than Trae Young right now.
Yeah,
So,
even
like-
if Atlanta is healthy, Detroit is still better.
Like, are they clearly better, or do we have a? Because this is what I'm thinking about with with Atlanta. I'm thinking about as a transition team. I'll give you the long ball because both Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway, I think they've become significantly better on that crew as long ball shooters. Right? I'll give you that. I think Trae Young, I think he's a better passer, and not only is he a better passer with Ricochet, with Dyson Daniels, with Jalen Johnson being healthy, that offense. If they were healthy the whole season. That's what I'm thinking.
You putting
about.
too much stock in Ricochet right now, though. You putting him. Remember, he wasn't like that towards the beginning of the season. You looking
Right.
at the end of the season now,
Sure.
but it's like you also like I like Jalen Johnson too. Like I think he's a 20 and 10 guy. He flourished in the freedom offense, but you also making it seem like the Hawks would be getting Kawhi back if he was healthy and
I ain't doing that. No, I'm not doing that.
damn near, and it's like
I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm not going
it's
that
like,
far.
he's
But
good,
I mean,
but
I think they're a playoff team. I think that they're right around that. How can you devalue a guy that's almost 20 and 10 and 5 back in your lineup?
I'm
That's
not
healthy?
devaluing them.
Not
But
only
even
that,
when he was
that's a
there,
great-
they wasn't that good. They were still
Well,
below 500 or 500. They wasn't that
18
good.
and 18.
And the
Yeah.
season had just he only played. He was in and out of the lineup. I think he played 36 games or something like
36
that.
games, yeah.
Yeah, he barely played.
Yeah.
He barely played a third of the season. So with that being said, if he's playing the entire season, we've seen these teams in the NBA get healthy and get better throughout the course of the season. And the Atlanta Hawks would have gotten better had he been. Now I'm not going to discount that.
But we
Milwaukee
can't
would have gotten
assume
better.
that they was going to be
I'm
better than Detroit.
I'm not. Again, I'm not saying that Detroit would
He's
not
saying
have gotten better
hypothetically.
because they've gotten better, right? Because I thought that Detroit got better. Milwaukee, right? So I'm not saying that these other teams would not have gotten better. What I am saying though is with the addition of Ricochet, who as a rookie, he got better throughout the course of the season.
He did.
If Jalen Johnson was healthy, I think that this team, Dyson Daniels, got better throughout the course of the season.
They would be a better playing team, is what you're saying. No, I'm saying like they would be.
No,
I
know what you're saying, Swiper. I think that they would be right. I think that they would be right around that 6 spot, that 5-6 spot. I do think that.
Well, but if there are how many games did the 16 win, Mars? Do you have the standings pulled up?
44. Atlanta are only 4 games behind the Pistons, technically.
Right, but I think like, but are you saying record just chill, or are you saying like in terms of quality of the team?
I'm okay. Again, I think that this team that Trae Young is on right now, this is the most talented team he's ever been on since he's been in Atlanta. This.
I think the team he took to the
21.
That team with Collins.
Clinton was still good.
With Collins and Herter.
Collins was going nuts in that Sixers
with
series.
Collins and Herter.
And you had Bogey.
Herter was on that roster. Bogey was on that roster.
Bogey too.
I sleep on John Collins, man. John Collins.
And John Collins. Yeah.
Is John Collins better than Jalen Johnson? I don't think he is.
John Collins was balling
it's
that
not
year.
that. I mean, it's not that big of a difference though. Chill. They the same pretty much. John Collins is pretty good.
So I got a younger, better transition player, better rebounder in Jalen Johnson. And again, this is what I don't want to do, Jordan. I don't want to equate Jalen Johnson as an all-time great. No, I'm just thinking if I add this back into my lineup again, Atlanta, they was only 4 games behind Detroit. Now I don't think that they, from a talent standpoint, could catch Milwaukee or Indiana, but that 5-6 spot, I think that if Jalen Johnson was healthier, and I think that if they had some more luck, I think.
But if we do the same thing if the Magic would push them down too, though, if the Magic were healthy. So you know what I mean?
I had the Magic.
If the Sixers were healthy.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Regardless though, chill.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forget about the Sixers every time we talk about the East.
Like, that's what we're doing. We can't just give Atlanta get no injuries.
Hold on.
You should definitely forget about Philly. Keep forgetting about it.
But regardless of what Chill said,
didn't Mark pick them to go to? Never mind. Go ahead.
We brought up Zion. We brought up Zion, and you start talking about Jalen Johnson. Regardless, Chill. Jalen Johnson, Keyshawn Johnson. I'm trading him for Zion. I don't know what you mean by that. Zion want to come. Jalen got to go.
Now, Drench, Frenchman.
What?
By the way, I haven't seen you in over a week.
Yeah, bro, I know you've been ducking me. It's okay.
Ain't no ducking. I was in New York. So this is what I'm saying. Like some of this is, bro. If they had Zion, Ox,
all their problems would be solved, bro.
Woo, boy!
I'm
not gonna lie to you. Hey,
him trading a pick and roll or DHO,
Trae Young doing that little
action, crazy.
I don't think it's just that easy. I don't think it's just that easy. Oh, you get Zion, and all of a sudden they're just a world class team.
Well, no, but I'm saying, but Ox, if they had Trae Young, let's just build it, right? Trae Young, Dyson Dan, I think they stay. Zachary Ricochet stays. Jalen Johnson's gone. Cool. Sure. I think Jalen Johnson's gone. I'm saying Jalen's gone.
So what are they giving up? Just Jalen Johnson?
Hold on, I'm not done.
Jalen Johnson.
DeAndre Hunter's gone. Okay, we're building it from the start of the year. They're getting DeAndre Johnson. Are we doing it now or are we doing the start of the year?
We're doing the trade now. You can't go back in time.
Well, we're doing the seeding stuff. We're doing the seeding stuff. So, like, we're assuming they get
Zion in the offseason. That's what we're assuming. They get Zion this offseason.
Okay, well then.
And remember, Mars. Before we go any further, we're trading for damaged goods. As good as he is as a talent, he is damaged goods. So don't think you're getting a haul for him. You're not getting a haul.
I'm getting more than Jalen Johnson.
Okay, but now don't get me wrong, now, Mars. You're not handing them over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack.
Man, Zion averaged 20. Hey, chill. Zion this year, like for all the hoopla, right, of Zion and not playing all that stuff. Zion was at 25, 7, 5 assists, 1 steal. He shot 58% from 2, didn't take threes. He doesn't shoot threes. 66% from the free throw line, but he was a monster in the paint.
But what was his rim deterrence?
I can't get up.
Start this shit.
It's probably lower than Shea. It's probably lower than Shea.
I hope you know if Zion goes to the Hawks, he's the best player on the team.
Well, what is he? The sixth best player in the Eastern Conference?
I hope you guys are aware of that.
I mean, that's totally fine. I'm just saying the Hawks will give up one of their strip clubs for Zion, boy. I'm telling you, boy, it'd be mad. They said
Zion agree to that?
Nah, he ain't making more money than Onyx and Magic City. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Hey, Zion might not agree to it, but it might be good for him. So
Zion has C grade rim deterrence.
What's the? But
Man, why we talking
Shay
about
has B. Shay has B.
No, we ain't doing that,
Shit,
Jordan.
man.
Jordan, we ain't
Come
doing
on,
that,
man.
Jordan.
It was a simple
We're not.
question.
No,
We
no,
are
no,
doing that. Was a simple
Jordan.
question.
Don't let the we're both coaches, right? There's 20 things in the rim protection thing, and then there's one thing I read. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
so I'm even using the one you used. Like,
I was just giving context. That's what I'm saying. We got company up here. All right, he's not up here all the time. Let's not waste his
all
time.
right, so let me
talking about
ask
rim
the
deterrence.
company. Let me ask the company.
No, this is gonna be disgusting, bro.
Do you feel that Nikola Jokic
No one
is a
even
good
brought
rim
him up.
deterrent? Do you think he's a good rim deterrent?
Do you know what rim deterrence is? Let's ask that.
Yeah.
The difference between rim protection.
The only reason I can
You asked
say
me who no rim deterrence.
a little bit, yeah, and it depends too. I think because Marc Gasol, you wouldn't say is a rim deterrent, but I played with Mark when he was the Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So the people around him too helped him also be.
Yeah, Mars.
So I can't say he's not completely at
I
all.
agreed with him.
But I can't say like he's not Wembanyama. He's nothing like
Right.
shot
I
stopper.
agree with you.
But a deterrent, maybe.
So if the stat said he was in the 100%,
But no, because Mars is
Would you-
disgusting.
I believe
Don't
it.
listen to Mars. Hold on, bro.
I believe
I'm
it,
gonna read. Let me.
That's what the stat said.
No.
He said
Because
100%.
Wait. Hey, swipe it real quick.
Go ahead,
My
go
bad. Before you do that,
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
before
You gonna read the
anything,
message from Mr.
I-
Go ahead.
I do have to
house
do this
cleaning.
first.
Do some house cleaning.
When it comes to picks, make sure you are picking your picks on PrizePicks. Run your game. Use code panel, play $5 and get 50 instantly. Our picks today. 1 second. Give me a second, man. Thank you, Marshall.
I got you.
Appreciate you, brother. Our picks today go as such. We have Tyler Hero more than 25.5 points against the Atlanta Hawks. We have Trae Young more than 11 assists. We also have Dyson Daniels more than 2.5 steals. That is a demon pick for the demon. We have Zachary Ricochet with more than 2.5 3-pointers made. Also, Andrew Wiggins coming with 28 points, rebounds, and assists. We took more. And to round it off, Bam Adebayo, more than 4 assists.
Mhm.
Let us know how you feel about that. That's what we're rocking with. Don't forget, use code panel. In $5, get 50 back in PrizePicks. Okay.
Wow.
Swiper, as you were.
Show. Ox, what is Sabonis' point rebound assist today?
Today?
He's trying.
It depends. It just depends on where he's playing.
No shouts. Look, I'm just gonna read this to you because since he played in the league, he obviously cares about context. Mars didn't play in the league or sports for that matter, doesn't care about context at all. So I am going to read. No, it's like that. Now I'm gonna read the context behind what it actually says. Okay, this is by the way, this was one small thing, right? So what it says, okay, for rim deterrence is the value reflecting the rate at which the opposing team offense generates shots at the rim as a percentage of the total shots, more or less, while the defender is on the court. That's all it said. So, including what you say, it's a team thing. It is a team thing, and the player is getting credit for what he does with the team. That's all. By the way, we read defensive field goal percentage yesterday.
And that stat says Jokic is the 8th best deterrent in the NBA.
They don't.
I disagree with
Is
that.
that what it is? Is that what it is?
That's all it is. It's a team. It's individual contribution within the team scheme. That's it.
I disagree with this.
Rim protection is a different deal when it comes to actual shot blocking and all that other stuff. Right.
I also want to say because our conversation on said stat apparently drew some interest. So the creator of B-Ball Index actually reached out to the Players' Choice account to offer some clarity for our disagreements. So I'm going to read his message verbatim.
Where was it?
Shout out to Tim NBA on Twitter if you want to give him a follow. This is his exact words.
Yep.
He said, "Hi guys, happy to chat a bit about the rim deterrence stat if that would be helpful. Someone pointed me to the stream you're doing, and I hear the stat referenced, and the season percentile is being used in parentheses among all players at all positions and all minute levels. And what you'll see with that is a higher percentage in general for bigs. If you look just among rotation bigs, for example, Sabonis is 72nd percentile and Şengün 26th percentile. Both may better match what you'd expect to see since we generally already apply that kind of context in our heads. So what he said was basically bigs get a general boost
They do
in deterrence simply for being bigs because they're being compared to the rest of the NBA.
They play close.
But if you compare them to their own
Mhm.
archetype and their own position and competition, they would rank lower, which is something that Swiper neglected to bring up yesterday.
No. We didn't even get the chance to get there. The conversation.
Sabonis was 93rd percentile,
because the conversation,
ignoring all context of where
we don't have to do this again because this is the whole thing yesterday.
That's what you did.
The conversation. No,
this is Ox's fault. Ox, you threw the stink bomb in the room.
The conversation got cut
Ox.
off. We didn't go any
we
further
discussed
from
it
there.
for 20 minutes.
They grown. They didn't have to do all this.
I do appreciate Tim for offering insight into the context of the
Zion
stat, which we were talking about yesterday.
I don't know how we got here.
Swiper can't come to terms with the fact that we don't want to hear his basketball.
That wasn't. I was just giving you context for one thing.
It wasn't context. It was a stat with no context.
I literally read it to you. We had an argument about it because you brought up Valanciunas when we were talking about Sabonis and Şengün. And we didn't get to any other context about how it's weighed, any of that stuff. It just ended there, and then it became a whole long time. Swipers, and then it came back to no. We're doing this again anyway. Move on. But yes, it was a very,
I don't believe
very
Jokic
thorough
is a better rim
conversation.
deterrent than Evan Mobley. I'm sorry. Shoot me.
You shared, and then you shared it on Twitter nasty because you nasty. When
I ran a poll. I ran a poll.
I want to know who did it. And to my surprise,
I didn't bring it up. I never brought up Joker though. He did that because he's disgusting. And then everybody referenced me. I never brought Joker up. Not one time.
I just ran a poll. Don't get mad at me. I didn't even say you put up. I just asked who they think is a better rim deterrent. It's not my fault. 86% of people thought it was Evan Mobley.
Oh my gosh!
You getting mad at me? I'm just reading the numbers. But anyway, Superchats.
W host.
Thank you. Masenko G said, "Not gonna lie, chill. Steph Curry played against SoundCloud rappers was heat. That had me in tears."
Okay.
There are a couple Superchats alluding to this. John D said Steph over SoundCloud rappers. Sports Pantheon said OG killed it in a 1v10, and then he also said Denver in 5. So I want to ask, chill, because I just seen that on my timeline yesterday. When was you gonna tell us you were just on House of Highlights debating a bunch of people?
He snuck us. That's what he did. He snuck us. OG Cheers snuck us, dog.
I just find out by seeing it on my timeline. Like, chill, what's going on?
How long ago was this, chill?
It was in
Stop acting shy. You ain't shy.
When was this? It was the end of it was that Friday that I wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was at.
That Friday that I wasn't here, I was in New York doing a thing with House of Highlights.
You got flued out?
Oh, Swiper, that's nasty.
You have to pay for your trip to New York, Swiper.
That's a fact.
You don't lie.
What did Ron tell you? Hey, what did Ron tell you? You cheating on chill with chill?
No. Anyway.
Oh, man.
It was cold. I watched it. It was good. I thought you did a very good job. You look very you look very presentable. Allow us to give you confidence. You look very presentable. You did a great job. You built out a great lane as like the elder statesman in the content game. Everyone loves to talk to you. And look at me when I'm talking to you. Accept the compliment. You did a really good job. It was great. And I thought it was funny. You were engaging. Your ball knowledge was great. You as per usual. And again, I thought the Dale Ellis clip was great. Like it was all of it was great. You did a great job. It was phenomenal.
Thank you very much. So that was dope. I enjoyed that. I did. I enjoyed that. But to your point, Mars, yes, I didn't think it would be a big deal. I wasn't aware that House of Highlights is that big of a deal. I did not know that, Mars. I did. Unfortunately, I'm not that. Mars, when you doing your thing, you focused on your thing, right? You're not focused on nobody else's thing. And I'm not really focused that much on what everybody else is doing. If I think about rappers, if I think about singers, I'm not thinking about anybody in entertainment. I'm not thinking about what they're doing. I'm thinking about what I'm doing. And to have, I don't know, if you singing and you got Mary J. Blige call you and you don't know how big a deal she is, and you go, I'm gonna do a song with her, and then you find out that Mary J. Blige, this is way back in the days, you found out Mary J. Blige is a big deal. I didn't know she was that big a deal. Not because I think she whack or anything like that, but because I'm doing my thing. I'm with you guys all the time, right? We're a big deal. We doing our thing. And in where I am, I'm thinking about what we doing. I ain't really knowing that yo, these guys are a big deal because I ain't really checking for them like that. Turns out they are a big deal, and they checking for me. So I bigged up the fellas. I did everything I could to big the fellas up and represent you guys. So to let everybody know,
did you announce the best friend relationship on House of Highlights? Or
I did not announce the best friend relationship. No, I did not do that.
Damn.
No, sir, I did not do that.
17 million subscribers.
He said he didn't know that was a big deal. Ain't that crazy?
Chill's he's the right one to make famous, man. You know, he always gonna undersell himself. So that was a great job.
Yeah, they definitely couldn't do that.
Can we get back to Zion and hand them over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack to Atlanta? Can we do that?
At Magic
they gonna hand them over for Jalen Johnson.
The wings.
I think we should talk about Zion for a second.
Because my dude over here threw a stink bomb in the room and then ran out. That's what he did.
But chill. When we talk about Zion, let's talk about if Zion does get traded to Atlanta.
Sure.
You can go to the Gametime app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Make sure you read the terms, read the fine print. Make sure you do all of that. You can go to the Gametime app and go to Atlanta and watch Zion play basketball live in the flesh. But if in case you're worried about getting bad seats, the Gametime app will show you where you're sitting. Make sure you got a clear view as Zion in that Atlanta Hawks jersey. Make sure you go to the Gametime app. Use it. It's amazing. Create an account. Use code CLNS for $20 off. Gametime app. Make sure you do that.
W transition.
I thought you was gonna be disgusting.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Into a different athlete, but you didn't. That's where I thought you was going, but
no, I'm not that type of person.
Oh, I definitely am that type of person.
But you will throw a stink bomb in the room and run out. You will do that. You 100%.
No, he asked a valid question. Where does Zion rank in rim deterrence? For anyone wondering,
I remember one time we was at one of those summer camps. You know, in high school you go to the summer camps at the college. Y'all play there. Y'all do the thing, right? We was at UOP. That's a college in Stockton. You know, University of Pacific. For anybody don't know, right? And we were in there playing it. It was messing around. Somehow I accidentally lit one of the smoke bombs. And instead of running out the room and throwing it, I threw it in the toilet. And it was smoke everywhere. I was tripping. It was just dumb. So I've been known to throw things and run out the room. My bad.
So I'm not ridiculous in what I just said.
You can did that in Stockton. That come on, Ox. We had our conversations about Stockton. You weren't supposed to do that in Stockton. You know,
man, I was like 15, man.
As long as you did it when you was
doing
young,
in Stockton in 15.
As long as you did it.
I don't know.
I was playing basketball, but I mean, I live, Sacramento, Stockton, right there. We in Stockton all the time.
For sure.
Yep.
For anyone wondering, among players who have played 1,750 minutes, Jokic is second in rim deterrence in the NBA.
Yeah, because they keep trying them.
Sound like an old league defender to me. Sound like an old league defender.
Yeah, you know what?
He is a better rim deterrent than Rudy Gobert.
How about this?
Like
let me ask you this question.
Really?
This is
Mark's not gonna let this go, chill.
No.
You started it, so because you started it, you the one started it.
This is a basketball conversation. Let me ask you this. There's a bunch of hoop heads up here. Mars, when's the last time a center legit was top 2 in steals in NBA history? Honestly, I genuinely don't know. Hakeem maybe?
No.
Hakeem never did it.
Ben Wallace wasn't it?
The highest Hakeem was 6 in the league. That was in '89.
How the hell did you just know that? What the hell?
Yeah.
He just knows where Hakeem ranks in steals. Like, are we serious?
He retired in the top 10 all time, but the highest he ranked.
But
during
damn,
the
for you
season,
to know that in 1989 is
he was there. He was alive.
How do you know the number
1989, he was 6.
That was one of his favorite
number
players.
6. You would know number 1 or 2. He know number 6.
I couldn't tell you the steals leader from 2 years ago.
I couldn't tell you the steals leader number 6 from last year. I have no idea.
The reason why I know that is because I was trying to get a satisfactory answer on why Hakeem Olajuwon, who that year was 6th in the league in steals. Individually, he was 6th in the league in steals. He was in the top 4 in the league in rebounds, and he was in the top 3 in the league in blocks.
Oh, he was trying.
He was 6th. I even checked.
He finished 2nd in the league in defensive player of the year and did not make the all-league defensive team. That didn't happen. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I in the matrix? What's going on?
To not put Hakeem on the all-defensive team.
He did not make the all-league defensive team. I'm like, what the hell? What's happening? But anyway,
the answer is no.
Maybe Ben Wallace was top 5 in steals.
That's
what I said. Ben Wallace.
I said 2.
I said maybe Ben.
Wait, let me.
Who was it?
Let me still. Because Allen Iverson was running around. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Allen Iverson, I think he did it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, Ben
Hey,
Wallace
man,
only
Swiper.
getting like 2 steals a game.
Yes.
I think that's
Swiper,
He did.
what argument are you trying to make right now?
I'm
though?
not.
That's-
No,
that's the-
Mars.
that's the
Mars is
thing.
doing it.
Like, what we
I'm
trying
just
to
playing a
do?
game of Mars at this point. I just want to know: are there other centers? Are there other centers that have been top 2 in steals ever? I just want to know that.
No,
And I
that
never brought up Jokic yesterday or today, by the way. But Mars did it, so
Ben
we're having
Wallace
this
was
conversation. Ben
Ben
Wallace.
Wallace
All
was
right,
not.
shout. So
He
Ben
was
Wallace and Jokic.
So I can't think of any. I do know that Jokic is top 2 in rim deterrence too. So I mean,
Marc
top
Gasol?
2 in steals, top 2 in rim deterrence.
Was Mark? Yeah, Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol.
Maybe.
Let's see, Marcus.
Maybe. That's maybe a stretch, but maybe. The year you won Defensive Player of the Year, probably maybe.
2013.
Marc Gasol, he was only averaging like 1 steal a game.
Damn.
That's not gonna be enough.
Man, I don't know. Viper, what are you talking
right.
about with this Jokic steal shit? Like he
He
just
brought
on
up
the
the.
perimeter
I'm trying to
clapping
figure
shit up.
out. I mean, he has great
He
defensive
ain't-
numbers from the rim deterrence, so steals are great too. I mean, that's.
I think I think
yes,
Swiper's
but
point
he's
is that.
clearly a horrible defender, though. So
Well, that's what I'm
like, are
saying,
we doing?
Jordan. I
mean,
think
obviously
Swiper's trying to sell us that Joker ain't as bad a defender as we think he is.
No, I mean,
who's a better individual defender, Jokic or Rudy Gobert?
who?
Rudy Gobert.
I mean, in the
Rudy Gobert.
playoffs,
No.
yeah. Who knows?
What?
Who knows?
What?
Since,
Swiper,
since-
we
since
know
we're
without a
doing-
doubt.
since we're going down this path, I have no idea. I have no idea. Wait. Now you remember in 2021, they were the #1 defense in the NBA in the regular season, and then when they went to the playoff, they got smoked out. You remember, right? And he was getting
That's
switched
What
out.
are you guys
Wait.
doing right now?
But who did they play in the first round that year, Mars?
in 21,
21.
Who?
the Jazz.
The year after the bubble.
They play. Who did they play?
Who we talking about?
That was the year they were the 1 seed, right?
The
That was-
Jazz.
They,
The Jazz.
they played the Grizzlies, right? They played the Grizzlies because they won in the play-in,
Mhm.
right? Am I wrong? They played the
No,
Grizzlies.
you're not. Yes.
Yeah, they played the Grizzlies,
And then they
won
played
in
the
five.
Mavs in the second round.
No.
Then they played the
The
Was that
Clippers.
22. That was
They
22.
played the Clippers in the second.
Oh,
played
the
the
Clippers
Clippers.
were putting him in space. That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the thing. How much does it matter if you can't play in space at all or steal the ball? In possession?
Jokic couldn't play in
And-
space
no, no,
in
no.
21.
And all
See,
you
this
do
shit-
is rim protect. So
Did we not watch Chris
Jordan,
Paul
don't start, Jordan. Don't start it, Jordan.
That man get more opportunities to play in space because they want him all the time.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They try him all the time.
which player?
So,
Rudy?
what player you think?
Well, no,
But-
they try Rudy a lot because you want to try
They
Rudy
try
a lot.
Rudy a lot.
Yeah,
I
all
mean,
the time.
they do try.
Hey,
They do
matter
try
of fact-
Rudy a lot.
Hey,
but
matter of fact,
at the rim,
let me ask
not
the
at the
group
rim.
this question.
But that's
Last year,
not as far as a help side defender. I'm
Right.
saying
Yeah.
On the block, 1-on-1 on the block, someone catching
Yep.
the ball. Who would you trust to get a stop at the end of the game more?
I saw Rudy get scored on by Luka
Gobert.
Doncic in the game.
Oh,
I saw Rudy get scored on by Luka Doncic to end the game last year. Am I lying?
What are we doing? What's happening right now?
I've seen Jokic. make-
Did we
What's
just
going
see?
on?
Did we see Jokic at the beginning of the year get scored on by Colin Sexton?
No, SGA. He got to stop on SGA in the clutch. Did he not? Did he not, Mars?
Did we see
not.
Did we see Jokic get scored on by Colin
I don't
Sexton
wanna- I
at
don't
the end of the
wanna see you
game?
shaking your head. I want to see
SGA?
you shaking your head. You the one who
See,
started this.
He
You did.
moving it. He moving
You
it
one.
now.
That's right.
You just brought up
This is your
Rudy
fault.
Gobert getting scored on
You
Luka.
did.
Yeah, all I've
No,
done, all I've
I'm
done
gonna
since
hear
I've been
this
here is read ads. I've done nothing but read ads. I am
You
an
wanna know, he
inside.
asked- We was having a good conversation. You started this shit, and here we are.
Austin.
Now we having a
These
conversation.
are
about-
these are
now
grown
this is
men.
what we're
These
this is
are
what we're
grown
doing
men.
now. I'm just
Austin.
trying to make sure that
I'm
we're
a runner.
Tell me I'm lying.
Twitter.
Did
I'm
Rudy
gonna put
Gobert
on what we're
not
doing.
get put on skates in the playoffs and get scored on to end the game by Luka
I
Doncic
just
last
want to
year?
make sure
Why-
that
the
we're
chat
clear
wanna
on what
know-
we're doing.
I'll
Real
say
quick.
this.
Hold on, let Austin respond. Austin
Hold on,
respond.
hold on.
One
I'm
thing.
not responsible for this.
One person was maybe looked at as maybe a defensive liability in some cases, and some person couldn't even play in the Olympics because he was somewhat of a defensive liability and an offensive liability.
I mean, but Swiper, the chat wanna Swiper, the chat
and
wanna know.
Eric Jones-
The chat wanna know.
Jones-
Did Rudy Gobert hit a turnaround fadeaway on Big Yoke?
Yeah, and 20 feet away?
Yeah.
20 feet away?
Run again. That's what they want to know. Did he hit a turnaround fadeaway on Big Yoke?
20 feet away?
20
That wasn't-
feet.
hey,
10
but guess
feet,
what? There were
10
there were
feet.
seven
How many
there were
people
7 minutes
saw
left in the
ball
game. That wasn't a game
thought
winner.
it was going in? That's what I want to know.
Not with Jokic playing defense. Yeah, I thought it was going in. What are we talking about? With him? Yeah.
Of course it would go in when Jokic guard.
Ox, just so you
Oh,
know,
man.
Ox, just so you know, we went from Zion and
We having a good
about
discussion.
him going to Atlanta to now we are Joker is a better end game defender than Rudy Gobert.
Austin,
I trust Joker to get a stop more than Rudy
You're
Gobert at the
Austin.
end of the
You're
game. That's
Austin.
where
Your
we at
check.
right now,
Your
Austin.
check.
This is
Your
what
check
I'm-
had the NBA on. It said National Basketball Association. You're more credentialed to talk about this than us.
This is where
What
we
do
at.
you think? You tell us.
This is where we at.
I don't think he's a better individual defender as far as help side defense, as far as affecting shots. Maybe what were we calling it? What were we calling it? A deterrent.
Rim deterrence.
I don't necessarily.
Well, Jokic actually ranks higher in
Mars, hold on. Let him finish.
necessarily think that, but I honestly think some things have like a clutch gene in it. No, like making shots. If you had to give me a shot to give a stop at the end of the game, I might take Jokic at the end of the game in a game 7.
bullshit, yo.
I swear to God,
This is bullshit.
I
Yo,
might do it.
I ain't gonna be able to do that. I might sit Jokic down.
Yo,
I can't believe that this is where we are right now.
because of what I saw from last year and what I saw carry on over into the Olympics, it just looked. It
Austin,
didn't look good.
I'm sorry.
You can't tell me it looked good. It didn't look
Austin,
good.
I'm sorry that I can't stop the leading scorer who's averaging 35 a game. I apologize that I can't slow him down. And I'm pretty confident Joker can't slow him down with 6 seconds on the clock neither. I'm
He did it
pretty
to
confident.
SGA. He did it to SGA though.
Give me a break.
But with that being said, though, in the event that you're too busy watching end of the game highlights on defense from Jokic and Rudy and comparing them, you're too busy doing that
Yep.
you don't got time to cook a meal. Go to Factor Meals. Go to Factor Meals, and you can make a quick, nutritious meal in 2 minutes. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy. That gives you much more time to look at highlights at the end of the game. You see who's a better defender between Rudy Gobert and Jokic. All you got to do is get started at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off and use code playerschoice50 off to get 50% off. Plus free shipping on your first box. That's code playerschoice50 off at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. You do that, you'll have all the time in the world to watch highlights of Jokic being an ultimate defensive stopper, a much better defensive stopper than Rudy Gobert.
This rim deterrence.
I didn't play in the NBA, so I can't speak to it. Austin did, and he said what he said. So
Oh
Mars,
man, here
you
you
deal
go
with
with
that.
the bull. Here you go
Nah,
with the
it's,
bull.
no,
man.
it's just I'm here for the Jokic all defensive team. Second in steals, second in rim deterrence. That sounds like perimeter and interior defense to me. What more do you need?
When hey, well, look when
A lot will be
when
seen, a lot
Chill,
will be seen in this year's playoffs. What happens as far as a lot will be seen.
yeah, when Chill brought up SGA's MVP case, one of the things he brought up was, man, he's top 5 in steals. Jokic's top 2 in steals. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Now we can move on, Mars. Super chat.
Yeah, super chats.
WOX.
Mike, this is a question just for me. He asked if I saw the Man United versus Leon game last night, and then said which NBA moment/game can you compare to what happened last night? No, I didn't watch the game because I was doing my own podcast, the Hoop Talk podcast on Marks Sports. So no, I did not see.
Plug.
Yeah, there we go. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. Cheese gifted 10 memberships. So shout out to the 10 people who received those memberships, and shout out to Cheese for giving them out. We have a super chat here from Your Highness Charles. He said, Chill saying James hasn't lost a game 7 in 17 years is why I trust him more is even worse than people who say Jordan is better because of 6-0.
What?
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, come
Chill
on.
said he would
What?
trust LeBron James in the game 7 because he hadn't lost more than anybody else in the league because he hadn't lost in game 7 in 17 years.
Yeah, but why?
I
But
mean,
then the super chat talking about that he'll take that over Michael Jordan being 6-0 in the finals, and it's like, yeah, because he don't go to game 7s.
No, he's
Well,
saying
no.
that's a worse take than the people who say MJ 6-0. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
Why is
I
it?
thought you-
Why is it?
I
Why
would-
is
I
it
would
worse?
agree with
But why is it worse? Over the last 17 years, he's played in 1, 2, 3,
3 or 4.
I think four game 7s. He hasn't lost in those game 7s. Why would I not trust him, even though he's still playing at a high level today? It's not like he's in the league at the age that he's at, and he's not been very good. He's still playing at an all-pro level, and he's still shown that he can get busy in the playoffs. And if he's in game 7, which over the course of the last 17 years, he's undefeated, why wouldn't I trust him more than anybody else?
He's
considering
played in
what he's
6
done?
game 7s since the last one he lost.
And coincidentally, he's 6-0. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't I trust him more? Your
I feel like
Highness.
that's
Hey, but why is the Michael Jordan 6-0 in the finals take a
I
worse
don't know.
take? Like, why is that a bad take? Like, that's a hell of a.
well, because people say he's the GOAT because of that, and like saying just all that's all it is. Like it's just
No, it's
because
not.
he won
All it
6
is it's compared to the criteria of other players. Like the
Well,
other
Bill
regular-
Russell won more than
he was
everybody
just
else.
a hell of a basketball player. He was
No,
the
he is
best
the-
basketball player around. Like the
Yeah.
6-0 thing is just on top of the fact that he was
right,
better than
exactly.
everybody.
Like I don't get why that's a
Where
horrible
he was.
take, but
He was better than everybody else.
It
That
just
was
looked.
going
I mean, Scottie Pippen's 6-0 too, but he not the GOAT.
there you go. There you
I
go.
mean, he's some people.
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
These are LeBron's stats in the game sevens. So since he lost in 08, so every game seven since. He played 48 minutes, so all 48 against the Celtics in 2012. He had 31, 12, and 2, shot 43% from the field. 1 for 5 from 3, and 12 or 17 from the line. But they won the game. The next year against Indiana, he had 32, 8, and 4, shot 8 of 17 from the field, 1 or 2 from 3, and 15 of 16 from the line. So there you go. He won that game too. Against the Spurs, game 7. This was after the Ray Allen shot in game 6. He had 37, 12, and 4, 12 of 23 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3, 8 of 8 from the line. The next game was against the Warriors, game 7, the comeback, 27, 11, and 11, 9 of 24 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 8 of 10 from the line, 5 turnovers. The next one against Indiana, 45, 8, and 7, 4 steals, 16 of 25 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 11 of 15 from the line.
What year was that?
in 18. In 18.
And then the most recent game 7 he's been in was against the Celtics that same year. 35, 15, and 9, 12 of 24 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, 8 of 11 from the line, with 8 turnovers. That's his game 7s that Chill has trusted.
Which, by the
Not-
way,
that's the numbers.
I mean,
sure.
it's pretty trustworthy. To be honest with you, it's pretty trustworthy. He gonna leave it all on the line. But
Yeah,
It's just
And
the reason.
after that-
you know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Swipe.
No, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
After that game 7, he was numero uno all time in game 7s at 33.5 a game, which is still a record to this day. He's number 1 in the NBA in game 7.
Yeah.
man, yes, quick going to game 7.
So you can pencil him in. If you win game 7, pencil him in for 34 at a minimum.
This
Pencil him
year?
in for that. Pencil him in for that.
Maybe, yeah.
Swipe, but he probably he can still get 35, 34 this year. I mean,
I don't,
yeah, like
Jordan,
we
I don't
haven't
understand
seen-
why that's ridiculous. I don't understand why that's
Well, because
it's
this
not,
was
it's
7
not.
years.
And
he's
Well, I
40.
mean, I
Yeah,
guess
but
it
Swipe
depends.
was one game.
I guess it depends on the sample size because Dominique Wilkins played in 1 game 7 and had 47.
47.
So
Damn.
technically, he has the highest average in a game 7, but he's only played in 1.
Yeah.
So how many games are we looking at before it becomes valid?
More than 1.
Okay, Luka Doncic has played in 2 and averages 40.5. So his average is higher than LeBron's 2.
Man, you got to go 5. Obviously, you got to go 5.
Okay, so
You
Kevin
gotta go
Durant averages 36, which is higher than LeBron 2.
Damn.
So
So it
how
might
many
be
games are we
ridiculous.
going to? Is it just the amount that LeBron has? Is that where we stop?
No, but
Kevin
did he
Durant
but did
averages
he
more
but,
than
but did he win though? That's another part too. That's another what Chill said. Did he win?
The most points per game.
No, but he
So,
said
I brought down he
but he
doesn't.
said LeBron is what? You said 6-0 in game
No,
7
he's
something
6
like that?
It's the first 2 losses.
First 2.
Before
Alright, so
since,
he's
since,
6-2.
since 2008. Since 2008.
He's 6-2. Let's just say he's 6-2.
Okay, but
Is that the
Kevin
best?
Durant averages 36 in game 7s. I don't like.
But is he
That's more than
6-2?
LeBron.
But is he
What is Kevin
6-2?
Durant's record in game 7s?
That's what we wanna know. Is he 6-2?
Well, but
He
and then
lost to the Nets.
and then he
Bucks.
said, I feel like game
Kevin lost
7.
too.
I mean, I understand, but I feel like we've seen LeBron. I guess for me, like he in the last 2 years in closeout games, he's also been outplayed. So like that's what I'm saying. Like
KD's 3-2. KD's 3-2.
See, it ain't it then.
Yeah.
Then you can't trust him. You can't trust him.
okay.
Can't trust him. Can't
Well,
trust him
what
with LeBron.
the only one that was really his fault though, I feel like it's the 16 one.
The Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
was
The other
horrible.
loss was to the Bucks, where he was the best player on the court. So, I mean,
And he had what
Hey,
did he have
man,
that
can't
game?
trust him. Can't trust him.
in that game 7, in
That's
that
the
game
47
7,
game?
I want to say he had 40 something. In that game 7, Kevin Durant had 48.
Yeah, like, and then yeah, come on,
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame him for that one personally. He was like 0 for 6 in overtime though. So if you want to hold that against
well,
him.
yeah, he thought the game was over.
He was
as we
fresh
all
off
did.
the Achilles that year? Or that was
Yeah, that was his first year back off the Achilles. That was the game after the game 5 where he had 49, 17, and whatever. I
Was
remember
that the
that game,
best?
That might be
Was that
like
the
the
best?
biggest NBA what if.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Like,
Oh no,
that-
it is.
That really might be like if they would have not got hurt and what they could have done. Oh my gosh! Like, James
Yeah,
playing
what
the
if
way he's playing now, And like people forget, he was an MVP candidate at one point when KD or Kyrie got hurt and he was playing point guard for them. Like people forget, like they were, and then they came in and slapped Milwaukee for the first 2 games.
Yep.
And injuries.
And then Kyrie sprung that thing, man.
And then James's hamstring. So it's like, man, I wonder what would have happened if that team could have stayed together, even with the pieces. No.
Yeah.
They would have must
So
up
Austin, the thing that would happen was that if they would have stayed healthy, Kawhi would have also stayed healthy. And in that 2021 season just would have been the Clippers beating the Nets in the finals.
That should have been the finals, in my opinion. That's where I'm at. The Clippers and Nets should have been the finals.
I love Kawhi, but to be honest, PG and Kawhi, I think James is just such a different type of playmaker than anybody else on that Clippers team as far as just playmaking. And then Kyrie is a finisher. Like Kawhi is one of the best defenders I've ever been around and seen, but he can't do nothing with KD. Like,
you played with Kawhi, right?
Play with Kawhi. Like he
Let me ask you.
too tall. And then
Do you think Kawhi was easy to blow by?
Oh my God, Mars. See, this is nasty.
Who
This
had
is
to ask?
nasty, bro.
So you
That's
believe
not
this-
how you
this one,
ask
not
the
the other one?
question, Mars. That's not how you ask the
I
question.
see this man literally someone try to sweep. I forget who it was. I've never seen it before.
Wasn't it Ben Simmons?
Someone tried to sweep through and rip baseline, and he literally just stopped him with one hand,
And they took
snatched
the
the
ball
ball out with one hand, and took off down the. I was like, "What just happened?"
That was Ben Simmons, right?
I thought it was Ben
I don't know who it was. It was I forget who it was.
If it was Ben Simmons, he don't get no credit for that.
Like CJ McCollum or something like that.
Ben Simmons probably wasn't even looking at the goal. He probably was looking in the stands or
buddy.
some shit. So,
But I mean,
But you
it was
don't
just
you don't
the
think
height,
Kawhi's easy to get?
ability. No. I mean, but he's also one of the best. I think he's one of the best corral defenders, like as far as forcing his man into a tough shot. He's one of the best at that because you cannot dribble the ball around him real well. Like he's one of the best players, I think, when he was younger, for sure.
Would you
Like
look
you
at
cannot play with the ball in front of him. But there's certain players. that
right.
doesn't
Well, you say
apply
you
to.
can't play with the ball in front of him, right? Now keep going, Austin. Keep going. Keep
But
going. Keep
certain
going.
players
Keep
that
going.
doesn't apply to. Like when I seen bigger players like Joe Johnson's, the KDs, those guys that can really like use their body against him, he has a tougher time because he's only who he is. He can't do everything. But as far as on-ball defense, keeping somebody in front of you, and then also being like on the attack defensively, I've never seen someone like that on the attack on the perimeter like he is. He was
Do you want
unbelievable.
to clarify what you meant to see? Because maybe I'm misinterpreting. Do you want to say exactly what you mean to Austin and see if he agrees with you?
First of all, because Mars asked the question, is it
Not
easy to
gonna
blow
say-
by?
I'm giving you the floor.
I'm doing it.
Exactly
not
what
gonna
you
say
mean.
it.
Mars
Clarify
asked
exactly
Mars.
what you mean.
Yes. So Mars asked the question, was it easy to blow by Kawhi? Number one, that's ridiculous. Number two, this is where this stems from. This is stems from me saying, I'll give you what I said. I said, you know how you beat Kawhi? You just got to go by him. That's what I said. You can't play with the ball in front of you. Now, it sounds crazy. I'm not saying.
But I get what you're saying. Like a player,
Yeah.
certain players, like a CJ McCollum is Kawhi's like favorite player to guard. A guy that plays with the ball, 6'5", like taller, not like Kyrie who's shorter, but one of his favorite guys that he could probably guard. Because one, I can get up into you. I'm somewhat like size, if not taller. I'm stronger than you. Someone like that, he'd love to guard. But as far
Austin,
as
that
like,
applies for any good defender, though, right? Any good defender wants to guard somebody that's
No.
playing with the ball, going side to side, just playing with the ball, not going nowhere.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. For certain players, it applies to. I think certain players, yeah, CJ McCollum's and guys like that, he's also light size, but he doesn't want to guard Kyrie. He doesn't want to run around and guard Steph all game. Whether as far as playing with the ball, yeah, for sure, he can guard him with the ISO up top real well. But as far as movement and playing with the ball, like they can for sure do that, and they'll just tire him out. That's why he doesn't want to do that.
And then so this thing for me saying like I've seen guys go by Kawhi because because I said he's incredible. Like one thing that makes Kawhi a hell of a defender is his recovery. Like he's probably the best we ever seen at you beat him off the dribble, but he can recover and he's gonna strip you or block it. They like ain't nobody just walking by Kawhi, and I'm like, first of all, you can't walk by Kawhi. I said there's guys, if you go back and look at it, like we talked about Russell Westbrook when they played against the player. Walk by him, go by him. That's possible. Like, of course, I said I think guys like Drew Holiday Avery Bradley, Patrick Beverly are probably better at getting up and guarding the ball and keeping it in front of you. Not saying Kawhi can't do that. I'm just saying that's what they do. Kawhi is more of you can go by him, but he gonna strip you.
I get what you're saying. It's
more. They're making it seem like can't nobody in the world go by Kawhi.
I feel like what you're saying as far as like position.
Not what we said, Jordan.
Maybe he's not as good of a position defender as far as keeping
Not
his man
what
in
we
front of him at all times. But
Yes,
as far as
yes.
like
That's what I was saying.
steals, recovering, as far as drawing fouls, all type of stuff, he's elite. Super.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like that's exactly what I was saying. Mars asked the question very nasty and wrong, but that is exactly what I was saying.
No, I
Like,
get what you. I get you. Like,
and
that's what
they
I'm
say
saying.
that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. A player like KD doesn't really play with the ball a lot. I mean,
No, he
he's
don't.
He's so tall. He's going to be able to get to his spots and get his shots off over Kawhi, which is not. I mean, he's going to get his shots over anybody. It don't matter.
Yeah,
So
Kawhi's different. I mean, KD is different too because KD don't really dribble that much. Like that's not what KD really do.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about guys like
with that team.
like guys like if you go back and watch Luka Doncic versus Kawhi, where Kawhi got Luka at, where he kind of hurt him at was when Luka trying to go side to side and play and do all that spinning and stuff. Then Luka just figured out, all right, I can't do that shit. I just got to go by him. Now, when he do go by you, you still have to worry about him stripping. Like I said, he's the best we ever seen at recovering. Like, I don't know. Maybe I've ever seen. I can say that. But for y'all to, and you trying to be nasty and say, nobody's just walking by Kawhi. Yeah, like somebody, like I said, like he said, CJ McCollum probably ain't doing it. But John Wall, by the fact, y'all want to bring the attention on me. We still got to put the attention on Chill because Chill named 10 guys that can go by Kawhi. And nobody said nothing about it.
we ain't not doing this. No, we're not.
You
This ain't
said
about
10
me.
guys.
This is
This
about
man
you.
said Steph. This
You.
man said Steph, John
This is
Wall,
about
Russell
you.
Westbrook.
Not
I'm
only-
like, all three of them.
Not only is this about you, you're the same one who is telling us and advocating for how dominant of a defender Kawhi Leonard is. On
He
top
is.
of that, you told us that he wasn't a dominant player. He never dominated. You told us that.
Yeah, I'm standing by that one. He wasn't a dominant player. He was a hell of a player, but dominating the game is like totally different. Like I'm standing by that one. Like I've been standing by that one for a long time.
Okay.
First of all, how can you dominate the player? How can you be a dominant player? We don't even know if you're gonna play. Like I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna be dominant. We don't know you're gonna play. Like that's part of it. Like damn, I can't even. I might go out. Kawhi might not play tonight. Shit, but I'm talking about guys like Steph, domination. Talking about guys like who else we want to bring? LeBron, domination. And I also said D Wade wasn't dominant too. That's one I said too. So
Anyway.
I'm standing on that one too. You can't be dominant. You the third, fourth best player in the NBA, and I never heard of that. But that's what I'm talking about.
Embiid wasn't dominant.
If anybody wants to hear the
He was
real
best in the world at
conversation,
that time.
just go back and watch it.
Best in the world at that
Curry
time.
wasn't dominant. Oh, you're a hater.
You
Never
said
mind.
Steph was
You
dominant.
yeah, you're a hater. I'm gonna
He said he was.
You said Steph was dominant. I'm a known Steph hater.
was. He said
Yeah, I'm a known Steph hater, and I know why I'm hating Steph. That reason right there. That right there.
James Harden was
He's a Houston. He's from Houston.
Best in the world at the
That's
time.
why he
James
hates
Harden was
Steph Curry.
dominant. Best in the world at the time.
When?
I'm talking about MVP guys. What? When?
When was James Harden the best player in the world?
When he was MVP, them 2 years.
So that's what makes you
Come
best in the
on.
world.
Come on. Yes. Come on, Swipe it now. You set it up. No, answer. No, answer. He set this up.
No,
he set this up for a
I
Jokic
just want
debate.
to know.
That's what he said.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Y'all always try to do this ulterior motive thing. There is y'all started this today. I'm asking a legitimate question. When you win an
Get me out of
MVP, does
here.
that make you the best in the world every year?
I thought he was
I
the
mean-
year before.
I thought he was exactly me too, but
In
I
17?
would agree, Swiper. If you won the MVP, and they said that means you dominated, yes, I agree. You probably the best in the world playing that year.
Charles
Like-
Barkley was better than Jordan when he won.
But he was playing like the best in the world.
Hey,
I mean,
no.
that's totally
Yeah.
fine.
Playing like the best in the world.
No.
Yeah, he was dominant.
But that's
Charles
the thing,
Barkley
all
was
those-
for
all those
sure
players
dominant.
It's for sure more than one or two, though.
Derrick Rose won over LeBron in 2011. Was he better?
Derrick
player in
Rose
the
was
world?
dominant, Swiper. Derrick Rose was
So
dominant.
Derrick Rose was dominant, but Dwayne Wade wasn't.
That year, Derrick Rose was
So
dominant.
Dwayne
That
Wade wasn't
year.
dominant in 2008.
9. Oh.
I don't think so. No.
In the finals.
In the finals, I'll give you
Derrick
the
Rose
finals. Just like
was
Kawhi was
2008.
dominant in the
No,
finals.
2011 Derrick Rose was dominant, but 09 Dwayne Wade wasn't.
That's what I said, Mars. Why you asking me again?
I
I
wanna
stood
make
on it
sure
back
that,
then. I'm gonna
like,
stand on it
It
now.
can't be misinterpreted.
No, it's no misinterpretation.
Okay, so
There's no
somehow Derrick
misinterpretation.
Rose was dominant, but Dwayne Wade wasn't. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
mean,
possible. That's not possible. That's just not possible.
hey man.
It's
Literally
just
better
not
at every aspect of the game of
possible
basketball. He's
to
dominant.
really believe
Oh
that.
man. Okay, well.
I think he's saying.
man.
I think he's saying that also because he had Shaq.
In
hey,
09,
man.
09 D Wade ain't have Shaq. 09 D-Wade had who? Michael Beasley?
Yes.
He was
Yeah,
what?
talking
What
about-
was D-Wade led the league in scoring that year?
Yeah,
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
Average 30. Yeah.
D-Wade.
Yeah.
Second
How many
in
games?
MVP, I
Did they,
think.
how many games did they
Third.
win?
48, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they finish?
I don't want to lie to the
That's
people.
what I think he means too. Like James, when he was one of the best players in the league, his
43.
team. If you look at the teams,
Damn.
if you look at the teams that James had in comparison to the teams that D-Wade had in 09, I mean, probably James is a little bit better as far as shooting the three. Who else was on that team? They had Darrell White. Who else was on that team in
Which
09?
07, 8, the 18 or
Hey
the
man,
17?
you know
talking
D
about
Rose.
08,
You know when D
talking about
Rose won
08,
MVP, you know they
Yeah.
won 62 games.
Yeah, Michael
He did.
Beasley. He had, to your point, also he
Hey
had
man,
Darrell
you can't be
Wright.
dominant.
Yeah,
You
Darrell,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't
Who
know
was
about
over.
Well, how many games you have to win to
Like,
be dominant?
Mario
How many games you have to win to be dominant?
Right.
Bro, you have to.
Guys
It's
like that.
criteria.
What
What
I'm
he's running.
saying is, as far as like dominance, like look at the teams that James has like held afloat in the West though. Like in the West, it's so hard to like win game. Like you lose 3 games in a row in the West, you go from the 2nd or 3rd seed all the way to the 7th.
We're just seeing that right now
Like,
with Memphis. We're seeing that right
Sure,
now. with
and
Memphis.
Yeah,
Look at
when
LeBron's
James was
first
doing it,
year.
they was winning 50.
Look
Well,
at LeBron's
Giannis,
first year.
Giannis won 48 games this year. He's going to finish 3rd in MVP. Is he not dominant?
What?
I want.
Giannis
Hold
won
on.
48 games this year. He's going to finish 3rd in MVP. Did he have a dominant season?
I mean, I guess you can say that, but where are they at? Where are they at in the East? Where are they? What, 5th?
Yeah.
Fifth.
That's what I think he's comparing.
Yeah, it's totally
the
different.
numbers
Yeah,
and
Austin
the
was
seeding.
Yeah,
making
you gotta combine them both, Swiper. Like if I'm
standings?
averaging 35, right? Let's say I'm averaging 35, but my
Miami
team is
were fifth in
ninth.
the East too.
But if I'm ninth, but no, I mean I don't know why that matter. But if I'm averaging 35 and I'm ninth,
Of course.
what am I dominating?
Kobe was 6 and averaged 35.
We already had the conversation about that. But listen, answer the question. If I'm averaging 35 and I'm ninth, what am I dominating?
I don't know a ninth that's averaged 35.
Curry was
Okay.
8th. and he
Curry
averaged,
averaged
what,
32 and came.
Now we're not going to answer the
Well, he
question.
was 8th.
But
Well, he was
going
8th
back
this
off
year.
what Mars, but let's go back to what Mars was talking about. Mars talking about Dwayne Wade led the league in scoring, and then
Yep.
they won what 43
They were
games.
fifth in the East. They were fifth.
Yes,
in the
43 games. Okay, he said how was hit that dominant, but Derrick Rose. I mean, how is that not dominant? But Derrick Rose was because Derrick Rose won MVP and they won 63 games in the East.
So
There it
based on
is.
that, based on that logic, then so Derrick Rose won 62 games that year. They were number 1 in the East. He averaged
And he won
20
MVP.
25, whatever it was. Right? I can't remember the exact numbers were 6 assists or whatever. And he won
25.
MVP. Okay, so 62, first in the East, best record, all that stuff. Well,
So was he? Steve Nash did it too. Was Steve Nash dominant?
Steve Nash, yes,
Yeah.
but I don't know about your criteria. Do you think he was dominant or not, though? But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, Jokic won 50 games this year. You said he's the MVP and maybe having the best season that we've seen from an offensive player, but he's not winning 62 games. Like, so did Derrick
You
Rose
don't
have a
have
more
to
dominant
win
year?
62 games. You don't.
No,
you
you're not saying-
don't have to win 62 games. That's not what I'm saying.
But he affected winning more in a traditional sense, though.
Who?
All right,
Jokic?
we-
Derrick
Rose in 2011.
Yeah, like when I was in the league that time, Derrick Rose was the biggest force beside LeBron. Like playing that year, it was ridiculous. Like watching them play, like even like I mean, to me, watching a guy average 30 or 28, it looks different in certain people's hands. Like certain people can make a 28 look like 48 because they're getting the ball out of double teams on time. They're getting the hockey assists to the guys. They're making sure that everyone's getting good shots. It's different than just going out there and jacking and getting 28 on 44%, 43% shooting. It's different because the guys who really like break down the game and can score, like Derrick that year when he was getting doubled and getting just to the rack, dumping off people were getting so many easy good looks, and he had a lot of good shooters, a lot of good players on the team. They're eating. Like Dwayne Wade, I mean, it's harder because he's a 2 guard. He's not a point guard. So you're asking him to play make with also Mario Chalmers, who wasn't like great at getting into the lane and as far as
He was in
skating.
year 2.
Bottom shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he
He
wasn't
was in
developed
year
yet. He wasn't developed yet. So when I look at it, it's like James, I feel like he could have played with a year 2 Mario Chalmers and maybe done more because he's a 3-point shooter, and James is a much better passer than Dwayne Wade. A much better passer. It's not even a question. It's not even a question.
I'm fine with James over Dwayne Wade. That doesn't
But you talking about
Why not Derrick Rose if I win 62 games?
Derrick Rose?
Because Dwayne Wade was better. Like, I don't.
Yes, but it's not about but but you got to also think when we scoring points and stuff like that, it's cool. But the main goal is to do it and win games. Like
Wasn't he
that's
more
the main
efficient scorer
goal
that year?
about
But
it.
I don't.
With-
but
we
it's
not about that.
How
but
much
it's-
credit you're giving this individual for the wins? Like, that's where we disagree.
No, I mean I'm not.
He
I
deserves
mean,
a lot of that credit though. Like Mark,
He
A
deserves
lot,
a lot of it.
absolutely, a lot, absolutely. I'm just disagreeing with how, like, yeah, they won 62 games. Credit to Derrick Rose on that defense,
and he won the
Tom
MVP
Thibodeau.
that year too. Like we can't just not lock over
Yeah.
that. He
Him
won the
wrongfully
MVP.
winning the award doesn't change my opinion. Like,
He
him
shouldn't have
winning-
won it.
him
that year.
winning
know
the
you
award
want-
when
you want
LeBron was
LeBron
clearly
to win it
better.
too.
Like,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
doesn't
that's
mean much.
totally fine. I
But
mean,
like, my
get that.
issue is, like, we're gonna go down the winning route. The 2017 Spurs won 60 games, but you still won't call Kawhi dominant.
Yeah,
didn't
Kawhi
win
didn't
MVP.
finish. Yeah, he didn't win MVP. He didn't finish what? But he finished first team All
Because
NBA.
he had to compete against James Harden and Russell
What
Westbrook.
about the year? But and what
Okay,
about
so those guys was dominant too. Like that's
Can't
I don't-
multiple people be dominant? Like,
Yes,
are you missing
and-
my point?
All right,
No.
see, look, we gonna flip this. We gonna flip this.
no, you
Each
no,
and
Jordan,
every
you,
way
no,
to
Jordan,
say-
you just,
Our
Jordan, you
season's
literally
reserved
just
for
said,
one dominant player a year.
Jordan, you literally just, Jordan, you
Who
literally
won the
just
MVP
said,
that year?
okay, so
Russell
the
Westbrook.
MVP after
So James Harden wasn't dominant in 2017.
I didn't say he wasn't
I'm asking,
dominant.
I'm asking,
First,
I'm asking.
no, he was. I like you said. I think
Why
he's
can't
wrongfully
Kawhi
won
be?
because what did Kawhi average that year?
Like 25, 26? I don't know.
Yeah, but wasn't he like was he DPOY that year or that's next year?
Second. He came second, I think.
Why are we talking about him? Why are we talking
So
about the
Kawhi
50?
averaged 25.5 points that year on a Spurs
Right.
team that won 61 games.
Yeah,
And he went and he
You
came
said-
third in DPOY and third in MVP.
And do a shooting split that year too, just for context. Just so everybody knows.
48, 38, 88.
Right.
right.
Is that not dominant?
pretty
Yeah.
Yes, but you also put that on the aspect of what is everybody else around the league doing too. What is everybody else doing
Sure.
around the league?
Sure.
Okay, what do
Right.
you mean by everybody
Yes.
else?
But
Right. I get
what do you
that
mean?
part.
What do you mean? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, what do you mean?
That's-
Like, what do you mean?
There's
What is
a-
everyone else in the league doing?
A barometer, Mars. A barometer.
There
like,
was there was two
everybody else
60-win
temperature.
teams in the NBA. One of the teams
Okay.
was the KD Warriors, and the other one was the San Antonio Spurs.
And none of us
Okay.
would say that KD wasn't dominant that season. None of us
Or Steph.
wouldn't say that Steph
So
Curry
you've
wasn't
got two
dominant.
60-win teams. One of them is KD, Steph, Clay in them, and the other one is the San
Correct.
Antonio Spurs with Kawhi and LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus
Correct.
Aldridge.
If you look at the scoring leaders, you've got Russ averaging 30, James Harden averaging
Right.
29. This was the Isaiah Thomas year where he averaged
Yeah.
29 or whatever.
Led the league in fourth
um,
quarter points that year too, by the way.
Kawhi, like I said, averaged 25 points per game, which is more than Steph Curry and more than KD. who
I'm
are
not the
other
one
60
making,
win
but
teams.
I'm not the one making the case for Steph. And
But
KD,
I'm
and I
like my
also-
confusion is
but I also- but hold on,
if
hold on,
he's the
because-
best wing defender in the NBA and is by far the best player on the only other 60-win team in the NBA, how is he not dominant?
No, he
Okay.
was dominant. I think there could be more than, especially for the second seed in the West. You're for sure dominant.
Oh,
He
no,
not-
we see eye to eye.
he
We
ain't like-
disagree.
he's not
He doesn't
relevant
think
though.
Kawhi was dominant.
Yeah, okay, that's totally fine. Like my criteria for dominant is totally different from everybody else because we're gonna move the goalposts when it comes.
Well,
down to
I just want to know what
this
the
and that.
criteria is.
What is the criteria?
Yeah, I mean,
My
honestly,
thing-
I'm asking on
My
earnestly.
thing is this too. Okay,
Yep.
if you dominant, you're gonna probably win MVP. You're probably gonna win first team All NBA. Your
Yep.
team is probably going to be one of the best teams in the NBA.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's
with
what
that,
it is.
okay. So Jordan, with
Yeah, all
that,
three
so,
of
so,
those.
But
so,
Kawhi,
so Jordan, with
checked
that,
two of those three boxes.
okay. So and why we keep why we
Two or
keep
three,
talking about
one or three. What
Mars?
the, like?
Why
Well,
we keep
what
talking about
was the one he
You just
didn't
asked me
qualify
what was
for?
my
He
criteria. I
didn't-
gave it
he
to you. You
didn't-
just
Sure,
said
and,
two or
and,
three.
and that's
didn't-
fair. But
He
why
wait,
didn't
wait,
win MVP that year.
No, but he said James Harden was dominant that year too. He did, but I'm saying like,
Yeah, James Harden checked two of the three boxes too.
and didn't win it. But he said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
Yeah,
wasn't
that's my
dominant though.
Kawhi checked two boxes. James Harden
Okay,
checked two boxes.
Kawhi was first team All NBA.
Yes.
I didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Kawhi was first team. All
Yes,
NBA.
he was first team All NBA, first team All Defense, third in DPOY, third in MVP.
I mean,
Why
I didn't
is
know he was first
60-win
team.
team.
Mars,
That
why-
sounds
I
like
didn't-
he's dominating.
why
Okay,
you
that's
putting-
that's
what-
totally
what
fine.
I
I didn't know
don't
he was
get
first team
is
All
why
NBA.
you-
Okay, so can you say Kawhi was dominant?
No, I don't.
Why
I don't
was
want to say it.
dominant?
Like,
Why?
God
I don't want to say it.
Okay, so wait a minute,
Yeah, I
Mars.
don't want to
Mars,
say it.
Mars, why are we using the Why are we using the 17 season? How about you rewind back to the 16 season? You know,
Because he
when
got
Curry-
hurt, chill.
No,
okay,
16
no.
was when he came second in MVP.
How about
But it
that?
Oh, I
was
thought you
How
was
about
talking.
that,
I thought you was
Jordan?
talking about that. I thought you was talking
No,
about.
how-
that.
how about that,
he
Jordan?
came
17,
second to a
18.
unanimous
He
MVP. so,
came
you know.
second. Not only did he come second, Jordan, just so you know, that year the Spurs won 67 games that year.
Chill.
They've never done that in the
Chill.
history of their organization. Ever.
21 a game is dominant.
And the defensive player of the year? And he
He's
shot
21 a
50,
game
40, 90
dominant.
that year too, by the way.
21 a game dominant.
went 50. He went 50, 40.
So he averages 25 and comes third in MVP and DPOY on a 61-win team.
Mars, I just gave you that one.
No,
I said, I
you didn't say he was dominant.
know
You
you
said
that one.
no.
But we talking about. No. Don't move it. Don't move it because we went to Chill saying what he just said. Chill just saying what he said. He said he finished second in MVP, and you said he averaged 21 that year.
Yes, he did. He averaged 21 that year.
Yep.
So is that the reason he wasn't dominant that year? So that's the reason he wasn't dominant.
On 50, 40.
But then the next year when he averages 25, he's still not dominant just because you feel like he wasn't.
No, I can give you that one. First of all, I can give you that one. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. 2017, Kawhi was dominant. Cool. I can give you that one. But I mean that's totally fine. But no, hold on. No. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that because we got to get back to Chill. Y'all want to do this shit? Let's get back to Chill. 21 a game is dominant.
Yeah. As the defensive player of the year.
In what league? In what league? In high school?
In the NBA. That's where.
Tim Duncan was averaging 21.
In the NBA. 100% in the NBA.
All
yes,
right.
Sir.
All right, let's go.
In the NBA, averaging 21 games as the defensive player of the year on a 67-win
18
team.
and 19.
Nash was the head of his team leading the historical
100%.
offense.
But
absolutely.
Kawhi
And
Leonard
I
was
was
leading
in
his
it.
team leading the best defense in the NBA.
Okay.
But he
Tim
was.
Tim Duncan averaged like 21 and he was dominant.
The year Tim Duncan won the league MVP in 2003, he averaged 23 a game. 23.
More than
23 a game.
I ain't gonna lie, though, in that offense, it wasn't about him then. I don't think as much as it was next year. And then I think he wanted even more of a responsibility. That's why he ended up going to Toronto and then got his way over to the LA. I think he wanted more responsibility. I think he wanted to be more of a focal point and obviously to be more dominant. He wanted to show that he could be more dominant.
I agree with that. I agree he wanted the ball a little bit more. I agree he wanted to be his own guy. I agree with that because like you said, the Spurs offense wasn't about him.
It wasn't. The perception is he wasn't.
Yeah, and they moved the ball, and they moved the ball. That's a great thing you just said too. The perception was, but we always do that for the Spurs players too. Like we always do that because of the way they play basketball. Like they play basketball a totally different brand from everybody else in the NBA.
And that's also why you can't say like even if Tim averaged 21 in certain years or whatever the case may be, he wasn't dominant because the way that he moved the ball and the way that he's had play in three different systems in 3 different decades. Yep. And had to adjust his game to playing with a two big man with him and David Robinson to then playing with Manu Ginobili, well, actually Tony Parker mainly as his main point guard, and then bringing over Ginobili as well, and having all those guys fit. You can still dominate. That's what I'm saying. You can still dominate, averaging certain numbers as long as the ball is moving, the team's getting good shots, and you see the productivity of those players with the other players.
And I also feel like that word dominant. I also feel like the word dominant, like it could mean
iffy.
Yeah, it's iffy like because you can still be a hell of a player. But when I talk about dominance, it's like overwhelming. Yes, it's like overwhelming.
And 100% Kawhi Leonard.
And that's my point as far as Derrick Rose that year. When people want to say Bron was the MVP as well, because the numbers. Yeah, you can fight me on that, and I would for sure agree with you. Yeah, numbers-wise, LeBron was pretty dominant. But it's also easier to dominate when you're playing with the second best shooting guard in the league and the second or third best power forward in the league.
Yeah.
And when you got Derrick Rose playing with Luol Deng and Carlos Boozer, and Korver, it's
don't
different.
forget Kirk Howard too.
But I would make
good players.
I can make a legitimate argument though in 2011 that LeBron, Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, and Dirk were all better than Derrick Rose that season.
No, you cannot make that argument. You cannot make the argument considering the fact that if you look at Derrick Rose's team, that 62 teams with the team that they had. Look at the team that they had.
Their defense was the anchor. They had an elite defense and then a very good score at the top of the
Swiper.
Yes,
Swiper. Let's go through one. Let's go through one by one. Why you gonna say all of those players were better than Derrick Rose that year?
I can't
give you on that one because I was in that division.
So
I was
that year, Dwight Howard, just for context for everybody. Dwight Howard, that was the 23. He was averaging 23 and 14 that year. Do people remember where he finished in the DPOY conversation that year?
Where did they finish in the Eastern Conference, Swiper?
Fourth. They finished fourth that year in the East.
And Dwight Howard had one of his best seasons he's ever had.
Yeah.
How old was he then, though?
Dwight,
Oh, no, 20,
yeah,
he came in 05 at 18, so he
What
was
was
what,
it, Derrick
Rose?
27,
25 that season?
But regardless, though, you saying that he's had a better season.
You can
saying
make
he
an
had
argument he had a better season than Derrick Rose.
Rose. He did not. This man won 62 games
You're
with,
bringing it just to
with
winning,
not a
but
great
that's
team.
not- Who did Dwight
And
Howard
he
play with that year?
dominated.
Who did Dwight Howard play with that year?
You can look it up. Twiper, you got it on you. Why not look it up?
So they ended up bringing back, because that was the year 2010, 2011, 08, 09. Okay, so they ended up skipping
So that year it was
So
Ryan
Turkoglu
Anderson,
was gone. Yeah, Turkoglu was
Gilbert
gone.
Arenas in year 9. They had Vince Carter.
Mhm.
They had Marcin Gortat. They had Rashard Lewis, Jameer Nelson, and
Yeah,
Michael
I
Petras.
want Swiper to
JJ
let y'all know he being nasty. They got about 8 guys that average double figures.
They were a
What
very
they was
well
going
balanced
to.
team.
Yeah.
But so were the Bulls. I guess we're rewriting history of what that Bulls team was that year. Is what I'm saying.
Led by their lead guard, who was 21 years old.
But 20. Well, so the age gets some credit.
Man, it doesn't. It got you a little bit to be.
Well, being
a little bit. Like,
I mean, it gives it credit that the fact that they won 62 games. Like, I don't know why you just gonna step that down. You
No,
gonna try
that's
to step
fine.
that
But
down
like,
and
I'm
then
saying
say,
that, like,
a guy
but saying that because of that, like he was a more impactful player to me that year than LeBron, Howard, Wade, or just even if you want to say Dirk that season, just outright because of the wins. It sounds super slanted for me, given how good those players were. Go ahead.
I don't really have a horse in the race, and I'm more inclined to agree with you. But if the Miami Heat had 2 players more impactful than Derrick Rose, how did they win less games than the Bulls?
I can't even remember the full season of that for them. Didn't they start off slow that year?
Yes, they
Yeah,
did. They started 9 and 8. 9 and 8.
And then the rest of the year, they won it like I don't know, like I can't remember the exact number. So please don't quote me. I want to say they won it like a 65 game pace rest of the year or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. Like they once they figured out how to play together, I think Jordan can agree with this. Especially two players like that. Dwayne Wade was a slasher, and he was a primary on-ball player. Then when LeBron got there, he had to relearn how to play off the ball to give LeBron the ball. And so
what
from
about
that
Carlos
point
Boozer
on,
playing 59
they started.
games?
You said what?
What about Carlos Boozer playing 59 games?
And averaging 19 a game, by the way.
Yeah,
and I think
that's their second leading scorer, and they won 62 games.
But as you were saying,
they were the best defense in the NBA by
yourself. Yeah, like
going
away.
Keep going.
Well, no, they were like, and then they also I want to say like that year did Noah like was that did he finish number 2?
Joakim Noah was on that crew.
2 or 3 in DPOY that year. Like
he was elite. Joakim Noah got hurt that year, no?
I think you're thinking about the next year when he got hurt.
He did get hurt. He only played 48 games. He only played 48 games that year. Yeah, he only played 48 games that year. He did get hurt.
So I think on the course of that year, though, like they had a very good defense. I think Derrick Rose deserves credit for being like the primary guard scorer on the roster. And like for the roster, he was also a really good playmaker. I think the issue is that like even if you just want to compare him that season, like I said, to Dwight, but just for like context, even that season, like Dirk was also like really good that season. Dirk that year, that was the 23 year. He was having 7 rebounds a game that year. That was the year he shot 52% from the field. He was shooting damn near 40% from 3. Like the offense was elite. He was scoring at a really high level. The Mavs were really good with him. But again, like I think that the Bulls that season, what really won them the MVP, Jordan, is the fact they played LeBron and the Miami Heat. What, 4 times that year?
Yes.
Did they win? How many of those? Did they win 3 of them? 3 of those games?
Yes.
Like
I think they won 3 out of 4. Yeah, I think they won 3 out of 4.
So the reason why they won it is part because of the narrative. Because after the decision from LeBron, everybody was kind of off the LeBron train. I think we all remember that very distinctly. Mm-hmm. And then from that point on, when they went into those games and beat those Heat teams, that flipped the narrative further towards Derrick Rose that year, and also being 21 years old.
Yeah, but it flips the narrative because he's killing. He's like
playing really well.
And he's going up against 3 top 75 players in there. What, 2 or 3? Chris Bosh?
I don't know.
Dwight Howard's top 75 too, or he didn't make it?
No, he didn't.
First of all, he should have made it. That's number one. He should have.
Yeah, he should have made it.
Yeah,
was Chris Bosh top 75?
It's who?
I don't think he was. I don't.
No, I don't think Chris Bosh was. I don't think.
I don't remember. I can't.
If it's no way he makes it and Dwight don't make it, that would be crazy.
He's not.
Yeah, okay. But another top 75 guy like that. That's got to mean something. You going on national
and
television
you win the most games
3 times and beating them, and it's a regular season award. It's not a full season award.
100%.
But I would argue LeBron had a better. LeBron had a better regular season though. Is what I'm
saying.
So
Swiper, you're saying
the only reason why I don't agree is because of the impact he had that whole year. Like the guards getting sick at an alarming rate.
Mhm.
The people ducking from that smoke at an alarming rate was ridiculous.
That was going on. That 100% was going
I think
on.
they had the best record in the NBA too. I think they had the best record in the NBA.
Like,
I
that
don't
was
know.
for
That's
a certain
crazy.
time, that was a real thing. That was a real
Yes,
thing.
that was 100% going. I can't go tonight. Nope, I can't go tonight. I don't feel good.
And it was
And
because it was
Wentz-
something that, like not like Michael Jordan, but it was something like we've really never really seen a point guard that explosive, that quick, change of direction, pushing pace up the floor. Like he was like a John Wall with
Good passer too. Very good passer.
with
Too.
good passer, great ball handler. Like it was developing into something a lot of people didn't want to see.
Sure. So
Everyone saw that in front of their eyes on TV, TNT, ABC. Everyone was seeing that, and he was 21 years old from Chicago. I know the narrative and everything, and
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's a part of why he won, though.
Man,
like
it was
he had the
crazy.
narrative
Yeah,
working
but
for him,
I'm-
and then LeBron had a narrative working against
Chicago
him.
was.
No, I
buzzing.
disagree.
Going into
I
the United
disagree with
Center,
that.
it was
Which part?
buzzing and-
The narrative working against LeBron.
LeBron absolutely
But
had
hold
the
on,
narrative
Swiper.
working
Hold on.
against
Let me tell you why I disagree with it when it comes down to the MVP thing. Because like when we talk about the MVP, like all the things we just named about Derrick Rose, I think the thing that hurts LeBron is like him playing alongside of Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh.
that's
Like,
where the narrative comes in.
Yeah,
That's what-
but no,
that's
it's not
what
the
we're talking
narrative.
about.
It's just a fact. Like their team, the load that Derrick Rose has to carry is higher than the load that LeBron has to carry. Now, LeBron plays spectacular, of course, but it's just we have to factor in like you got three guys, quote unquote, the big three. According to Rich Paul, it's not a big three, but I know why he's saying that. But yeah, he capping. But also, you got three guys that's doing that. Then you you go over here to Derrick Rose, who one of their best players missed a lot of the season as well, too. Like, but for him to win to have the best record in the NBA, that's the MVP. That got to be the MVP. Like he's checking off all the things that's saying that he can't be MVP.
I don't think that.
No one had him making that jump. That's what I think it was.
I didn't, to be honest with you, Austin. I did not.
That jump.
No, I did not.
They were going to go from what were they the year before when they lost to Boston?
I think they won in the 40s.
And people forget. I think
they were at the bottom of the league in terms of playoffs.
I'm not sure. Yeah, right. They were then they just lost Ben Gordon. He came to my game.
And he went from 17 to 25 a game too.
That's what I'm
They won 41 and 41. Yeah.
He lost his second best scorer. He lost his second best one-on-one player. And
we
then,
could actually have that conversation.
Right?
Yes, that's a fact.
That's true. That's a fact. He lost his second best wing player.
Sure.
He went from 17 to 25 too.
Salmons was good. I like John Salmons a lot, but I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think he's Ben Gordon. Playoff wise, I think John Salmons was pretty clutch.
I love John Salmons. I'm a big fan.
I love John Salmons. I like John Salmons.
He's not Ben Gordon though.
He had a little bit another gear, I think, like as far as scoring the ball, clutch.
But to Swiper's point, and like you just said, Jordan, James was playing phenomenal that year. But to Swiper's point, the narrative is exactly that. Well, you got these dudes on your crew. You should be doing all of this. The fact that you are that, we can't give you the league MVP. Same reason why with KD when he went to the Warriors,
and he was a better scorer. He was a better scorer, playmaker, and defender than D Rose was that year. Like that's also a part of it too. Is like he was just across the board, just playing better. LeBron, LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard. It's hard for me to say that like because I've been consistent about this. Like I think LeBron was the best player in the world in that season. Damn, who he was playing with over the course of the year. I think it took a while for them to figure it out, but once they figured it out, they started like even the end of season matchup that year. Because I just went back because they did win 3 of those games. But if you go back to the end of the season,
third in MVP, first of all,
he did behind Dwight Howard. Which again, that's what I'm saying.
Was like
awesome
that year. He wasn't good. He was awesome that year. I thought he had a legit shot at winning the league.
Yeah,
MVP.
he did.
But there's a guy that we also leaving out. I mean, what about the Finals MVP? Like Bryant wasn't in that conversation. Are we just gonna leave Bryant out?
But look, I think y'all talking about. I think y'all talking about like you can be
5 or 6 players. That's why I had this conversation that
it's. But hold on, chill, because you brought up some. You brought up something that's kind of a little etchy a little bit because you can like LeBron. Like Swiper, I agree with you. Was LeBron the best player in the world? We can agree with that. But there's context to being the best player in the world that season as well, like as far as like team, like if my team, if you can be better than me, but for some reason with this team we have more continuity going, we win more games. I'm looking I'm looking great like Derrick Rose happens, and it's like you have to give him the MVP, which technically can say you're the best player in the world. But I also can listen to your argument and say LeBron was amazing too. Like LeBron, this and that. I can give you that argument too. But when somebody edge you out and they have the best record in the NBA, and they're dominating that season with the best record in the NBA and doing what they're doing, and their roster doesn't look like yours.
And you beat them 3 out of 4 times.
Yeah, you kind of gotta like understand. Like this is like, yeah, you got that, bro. Like you got that. I get you. You got that. And the next year, LeBron won MVP. And the year after that, he won MVP too. So it's like, you kind of, you kind of got to give him that. But chill, you right. Kobe Bryant, him winning Finals MVP. He just wasn't in the thing, and it probably would have to do with the games that they won. I probably would have to see the games that they won. It could have been maybe the impact. I mean, you can win MVP, and then if I win Finals MVP, you know what I mean? It's like that's the only one that really matters, to be honest with you. Like that matters a lot. Like when it comes down to winning, like I want to win so bad. Like, all the individual accolades is cool, but winning is the most important.
Super chats.
Yes, sir. What you got, Moss?
Kent Lipscomb Jr. said Tim Duncan top 5 and Tim Duncan better. Hashtag PC goated. Hashtag Wemby top 5. Area 51 uploading. That's his annual Spurs prop. Yep. Nice. Drip Bayless said more hurtful to their legacy. Denver with LeBron or Golden State with Harden?
Well, for dumb reasons, it's Harden to Golden State.
Nothing Bron does these days is hurting his
legacy. I don't think so either.
He's 38.
He's old,
he's 39.
bro.
He's 40. Yeah.
That bro, he old, bro. Like, what do y'all want a 40-year-old man to do?
He's
I don't get like all
that. What you're saying? That's what they're saying.
No, I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying. Period. Like, I don't understand. What do y'all want a 40-year-old man to do?
Swiper to never beat a team in the playoffs ever.
I don't think that still hurts his legacy. Like he's 40. He talking about.
I know that.
The Rockets were like the underdogs.
Don't get me wrong, Miles. I'm not gonna argue that the Warriors had a bomb squad, right? They were awesome, and I'm not gonna argue that. But if I'm gonna use the logic with what happened with Jordan, if he doesn't get past Detroit, that's the same thing going on with him.
This is Jordan versus the Celtics, though. Jordan never beat the Celtics, so like
ever. But that's the logic on like to never beat them. But the goalpost gets moved because he was young and he had just gotten into the league. I mean, I understand the logic. I understand the logic with Golden State. I mean, damn, they had a bomb squad, but it just on paper it looks bad that he never beat them.
Well, but LeBron,
then you go into the context and you think
now,
he was
right,
never supposed to beat them.
Right,
yeah, he wasn't supposed to beat them.
Wait,
but the reason, but
look at that crew.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Coach, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But
I'm just thinking when you go like to Jordan's point, when I go into what was going on with that Golden State Warriors team to have the season that they had in 2015, 2016, where it was the best offense in NBA history, and then to add 27 a game to that roster, and now how do you expect to beat them? You don't expect to beat them at all. It's really difficult to beat that kind of team. But on paper, the casuals will see that when history tells it, James Harden never got past the Golden State Warriors.
But that's
going to be the end of it.
That's mad interesting, though, because LeBron's never lost 7 straight playoff games to any team but Denver. And he was an all NBA player in all of those years. And he got, he got thoroughly outplayed in both of those series as an all NBA player. I can't say the same about James Harden in those Golden State Warriors series. Like, he did not. Like, if CP3 is there, I'm fully of the mindset they win that game 7. And,
I will also say James Harden's also never been swept in his career.
Not one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie though. I think that when LeBron got to the Lakers, and even when they won a championship, I don't think nothing hurted his legacy when he got to the Lakers. Period. I don't think nothing that he did hurt his legacy. I think it was once he did what he did in Cleveland, I think it solidified his legacy.
He was 30. Like that's just interesting.
He was 30 what?
When 14-15 when he went back 29-30 season, and then the 30-31 season was the 15-16 season. I'm saying that like he had 10 more years of his career after that, and it's like, but I'm agreeing with you, Jordan.
Ain't no way you knew he had 10 more years after that.
Nobody.
Ain't no way you watched 20 years. He gonna be here 10 years later. You ain't
exactly.
No, but I think some of this was like, but he has had 10 more years since then. But to Jordan's point, everything else he's done after that has been like he's just adding on.
Yeah,
to
like
what
he
is
can
already
only
an
add.
established
Like
legacy.
I don't think he can hurt it. He was 34 years old when he got to the Lakers. Then he was hurt too. So then he came back like 35, really to compete at 36. Like
They won a chip in
yeah, they
when he was
did.
35. Like
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
it
like
doesn't
nothing
hurt
could
his
hurt his legacy when he got to the once he got to the Lakers, it was like even when they missed the playoffs, it wasn't like oh my God, LeBron missed the
but
playoffs.
it was also
Like
it was an understanding because he was in the West and how much
yeah.
different the East. Like that's why people like. I mean, to be honest, the East was for sure at that moment in time when he was in Cleveland, and it was an easier conference. Point blank, simple.
Yeah,
it was.
But
man,
look, Mars kind of got a point about this Bron thing because that's interesting to me. 2007 Mars, he gets swept about the Spurs, but he's 22 years old. Everybody says, all right, 22.
He played badly, like,
and even Tim Duncan was like, oh, thanks for this one, guy. You'll get yours in the future, right? And then the next several years are playoff disappointments. He doesn't get back to the NBA Finals. So Mars, he goes to the NBA Finals swept, doesn't make it back. 10-11 goes to the NBA Finals as the favorite. Jordan, horrible, like
that was bad.
Horrific
I
series.
agree. I think that one hurt his legacy more than anything.
That was the one because he was
the one.
He was talking, coughing.
Yeah,
that's what it was. That's what it was. It was the fact that they really thought they had it in the bag at one point in time, and they.
That's 5 straight years of disappointments in the playoffs.
That's what turned it against him.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
But Jordan, he had 5 straight years of disappointing into the season, and then over that stretch, he won 3 MVPs, 5 straight years of playoff disappointments, 3 MVPs in that stretch, and but once he won, basically it was over. Chill, like there was no more real Bron criticism. I just think that's really interesting to me that like he had so that 5-year gap doesn't matter because he was young, and then he won. But then everything after 2020 doesn't matter because he's old. So like there's just like this interesting shift about his career.
Yeah, I mean, of course, but it's like like I said, Swap, but he redeemed himself though, going back to Cleveland and doing what he did. Like,
I think so.
Right, that was the ultimate championship. Yeah,
that's redeeming it. Like, you can't say nothing about this guy. All the stuff y'all said, he like, all right, he did history. He rewrote history. The 3-1 joint, coming back to Cleveland and winning. Yeah, I think that's why we don't need to harp on those.
So this is really Draymond Green's fault, then, Jordan. What you're saying?
It ain't Draymond Green's fault. It's Dirk's fault. To be honest with you.
Honest to God.
I mean, some people still haven't got over that 2011 finals, so
exactly. Like it's Dirk's fault. Like to be honest,
it was the fourth quarter numbers. It was just all of that. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. It turned LeBron into. It was the one time when LeBron turned into a better player.
Like, I just never seen him as. I honestly thought that I was looking at an imposter for real. I had never seen anything like that.
Oh, Bron.
I'd never seen anything like that.
If you look at his game at that point in time, like he was so downhill, so good with the ball, and such a good passer. He didn't really need to work on his post game like that.
Right.
He didn't need to work on his jump shot like that. I mean, of course, I know he worked on his jump shot. Like you can tell over the years how much better it's got year after year after year. But
he became a much better shooter.
He was so much more athletic. Like if people don't want to put LeBron as the GOAT as far as the best player ever to touch a basketball, there's no fighting that he's the most athletic player ever to play basketball. Period.
Oh, I agree with you.
He's the most athletic player to ever touch a basketball. Period.
I mean, some
durability, being 6'8", 6'9", 270, running, moving like that. He's the most athletic person I've ever seen at that size ever.
Chamberlain might have something to say about that.
And
maybe.
Amin Thompson might have something to say about that.
I would agree with that, but I just never saw it.
Michael Jordan. Why are we skipping over all them and Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan too. I just watched his North Carolina stuff the other day.
When I look at Jordan, the only thing I can say, like, I think Michael Jordan is my GOAT. But at the same time, I think when I look at LeBron, this is the reason why I feel like Anthony Davis got up out of there, because LeBron naturally, as time has gone on, the way his size is, he's turned into a stretch forward.
Which is what Anthony Davis is. Fair.
And that's what Anthony Davis is. That's why Anthony just didn't work. To have LeBron play alongside with Anthony Davis and then him ask for a 5-man, how much more clutter do you want to paint for LeBron? You know?
Yes.
So I think that's just why it turned this into the perfect marriage with him and Luka, and it turned really Anthony Davis into the perfect marriage with the Mavs, having Lively and Gafford.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up too, Austin, because we were actually having a conversation about as James got older and his athleticism started to wane. Well, what was he going to do? He's probably going to move to the box and move to playing in the post more.
How much better over the years he's gotten playing on the block.
Yes, he wasn't that good 10 years ago.
If LeBron had the block work he has now in 2010, he'd be he might have went down as the best player ever.
For a lot of people, he already is. So
No, yeah, for sure. That's why I said in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he had that much polished of a game at that early age, and he was able to do the things that we saw him do in Cleveland against Toronto and on at that point in time in 2010, I think that's when it would have took over for everyone with their eyes and just been like, wow.
It's just like I said, this is all interesting to me. But I think this is the way narratives work with every player. Because the chill knows Michael Jordan prior to 91 was called a Hall of Fame level shot chucker, individual player, a scorer.
He was a ball hog. That's what he was. He was a ball hog.
Skip Bayless, his biggest proponent, was one of the main people calling him a true ball hog, would never get amount to anything.
Yeah, he was a ball hog.
And then all of a sudden, Mars, they beat Portland, or they beat Lakers, then they beat Portland, and then they beat the Suns. He's the GOAT. Like everything shifts.
He still was doing the same thing he was doing previous to that, though. By the way, he still was doing the same thing. He still was shooting the way he was doing. He still was scoring the way he was doing. He just was getting off the ball a little bit more, but he still was a bucket getter. And now we go from that, Austin, to
we've never seen anything like him.
Yeah,
certified winner.
I mean, the thing is when he stepped on the court like his rookie year, no one saw nothing like that as a rookie. No one. As a rookie, no one's ever done what he's done as a rookie. Period.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
What, 27 a game, 28 a game?
Who did that?
I mean, statistically, Will averaged like 50. But like,
wait, we're talking about as a rookie.
Yeah,
real rookie.
Jabbar was 27 and 16 as a rookie.
But it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you go back and watch like any rookie Jordan games, and you just listen to the commentators glaze that man. But he'll make a play, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, we've never seen anything like this before."
Yeah, they have it.
That was the same thing. That was the same thing with LeBron in Sacramento, though. The first game LeBron had in Sacramento was the same thing. Seeing an 18-year-old out there doing what he was doing, it was the same thing. Everyone was mesmerized.
Well, to be fair, LeBron, his first, I watched every second of the game.
Right.
In the Melo game. His first bucket, that steal.
That fadeaway. Was it not number baseline?
No. That was first dunk. My bad. First
baseline jump.
The first dunk, everybody was just like, bruh, like this, he's everything we thought he would be. And then he had 25 points in the first game.
Yes, he did.
It's like, bruh, like who is this?
But obviously Jordan had more years of college.
Yeah,
like I'm saying, no one's really seen it. Okay, my bad, Chill. Maybe I should have prefaced. No one's seen a guard step into
guard.
the
Yeah, a guard.
Well, Chill, what about David Thompson though? First walk in again, post ABA. Well, that's not.
David Thompson was
he was a shooting guard at North Carolina State.
Yeah, but I was about to say, I don't know if he was like Michael Jordan when he came.
We didn't get the. First of all, we didn't get the best years of David Thompson.
Yeah, bro, David. But they literally had to adjust like how you played college basketball because of David Thompson, bro. Like he was a different type of deal.
Sure, we didn't get to see David Thompson come right, just like we didn't get to see Doc come right into the league, right?
I would have loved to see George Gervin.
That's the biggest tragedy, Jordan. I'm telling you right now. That's the biggest tragedy the NBA discourse is Dr. J having his first 5 prime years, or his 5 best years in the ABA. Like that's just not even. Yeah,
probably would agree with that.
We didn't get to see him like we would have liked to see him, but
yeah, they would. I'm telling you, Jordan. I'm not even gassing. I'm not gassing you. If he had those first several years in the NBA, Jordan, people be talking about him like he's Larry Bird, dog.
I mean, Chamberlain was almost 40 and 20 as a rookie, so
yeah, but that doesn't count.
Anyway, as you were saying, Mars, I apologize.
We've got 2 options. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. We can either read super chats or we can preview the rest of the series we haven't spoken about.
Let's discuss the playoffs and then we could get to super chats because I know how you are with the super chats, Mars. I do. I know how you can get through the super chats.
So we've got first. We didn't talk about the Dallas Mavericks playing the The Memphis Grizzlies. I'm gonna go straight to Swiper. Dallas versus Memphis. Who do you have winning tonight?
I hope it's Dallas. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
I hope Dallas wins. I want to see OKC play versus like a physical team. That's a big team that can like at least make it fun. I think Memphis would get just that That can't get right basketball in the fourth quarter versus the Thunder, 20-point blowout, maybe all the games.
I think that this injury that Ja has, I think he's going to play, but I think it's going to hamper him, and I think it's going to hamper their pace, which is going to be a problem for them because a lot of their games they play fast. And I mean, Anthony Davis, for all intents and purposes, he always plays well against Jaren Jackson. And the fact that that team rebounds the way that they do, I think that they handle Memphis tonight. I don't think they blow them out, but I think that they handle Memphis tonight.
I'm telling you right now, my new agenda next year. I told you Anthony Edwards is going to be on it 100%. Anthony Davis is going to be on my agenda train next year. I think he's about to be like.
Yeah, I think it's about to be scary what's going to happen in the. I mean, the whole West is going to be so crazy next year.
So
I mean,
dumb.
up now, but having that.
And then Cooper Flagg's going to be in Utah next year for no reason.
Having that
Nothing. For no reason. Just for no reason here in Utah. Why you here? What you doing here?
You know why he there? He fit the demographic.
Year 3, Victor Wembanyama. Year 1, Cooper Flagg. I mean, all right, bro. All right.
Yeah, Austin, who do you have? Dallas, Memphis?
Dallas.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's in Memphis or it's in Dallas? It's in Dallas, right?
It's
No,
in
Memphis are the higher seed.
Mhm.
How does that
Do you
change
think?
your
How do you
answer?
think
Austin,
JJ does versus
Austin,
Anthony
I
Davis today?
understand. I understand the home floor advantage thing. I do.
Playing's different. I mean, playing is maybe a little different. I've never really seen the vibes of a playing like that. You think it's the same intensity of a first round playoff game?
100%.
You got to be
Yeah.
out.
That's what I was
without
about to say.
it,
Austin.
yeah.
You
You
lose,
got
you
to
out.
go home.
So
Yeah,
the
maybe.
blood pressure and the temperature is through the roof.
I'm saying for the building, not necessarily for the players. For the
Yes.
building,
I mean, I'd hope so. I mean, if the fans know what's on the line, their season is over if they lose. So
Right.
if they don't bring that intensity,
Pat
then,
Beverly made it look pretty tough. So, yeah.
That sense of urgency is definitely going to be there. No doubt about it.
does that change your answer, or are you still going with Dallas?
No, I'm still going with Dallas from what I saw against Sacramento. What I saw against Sacramento was something really that I liked. I mean, Williams. I mean, Clay's shooting the ball well.
Mhm.
Like, I think just when Kyrie comes back, it's just going to be something special next year. But then this year, just seeing Anthony Davis play alongside with fives, playing pick and roll at the top of the key, it was kind of refreshing to see something a little different.
Yeah.
Austin, I'm predicting a 35 and 18 game from Anthony Davis tonight.
He-
He's like that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Jaren Jackson-
Mars,
Zach
I'm telling you dudes right now.
Don't
if-
hate him,
if-
Zach Edey. He a rookie.
If we get a 20 game from Anthony Davis, they smoke Memphis tonight. They don't beat them. They smoke them.
I expect them to win, but Memphis do have avenues to win. I'm concerned about Ja Morant. His ankle touched the floor. Like,
Yeah, it did.
that's
It was bad.
concerning.
Mhm.
But yeah, I got Memphis losing. So we all have Dallas.
Sweep? Ugh, that's bad news.
Yeah, we all have Dallas, but whoever wins, but we're gonna go off the assumption that Dallas win. So who do we have? OKC or Dallas in a series?
Okay, for sure.
I'm telling you
Bad
right
game.
now,
We're
Mars.
just gonna go.
Oh,
It's going to
chill. Don't say something crazy. Don't say something.
I'm not going to say anything crazy, Mars. What I am going to ask is who would no. I'm not going to ask you, Mars, because you're the non-violent one of this group.
What?
You two guys.
I'm
Who
violent.
would you rather fight? Would you rather fight somebody who just got off somebody's ass or somebody who's been sitting around?
For sure, someone who's been sitting around.
I 100% think that this Dallas team who's been rolling, they just won the play-in game against Sacramento. They just ended up beating Memphis. So come and we don't have a lot of time. It's Sunday. So we basically got a day and a half. We go into Oklahoma City. This Oklahoma City team.
Wait a minute,
hasn't
chill.
played- this
You're
Oklahoma
cooking.
City-
Yeah.
this
It's
Oklahoma
Dallas.
City-
It's PJ Washington. I
this
forgot,
Oklahoma-
chill.
this
Yeah,
I
Oklahoma City
forgot.
team-
You reminded me, chill.
This Oklahoma City team hasn't played in 10 days, right? This is not only have they not played in a week. That's
Dallas
SGA, that's Chet.
Yep.
These guys are walking in the door, and I think they punched them in the face and let
Yep.
them know that this is the playoffs.
Wait,
But then-
is this Orlando versus who when what's the name Augustin hit the three in the bubble in the first round? Was that Celtics or was that
DJ
the Bucks?
Augustine? That
Yeah,
was
DJ
against,
Augustin.
That was against
The Bucks? Is this that what this is going to be, chill? In the first game, they're just going to like take it to them.
I
They're going
think
to win
that-
the game.
Was
close?
it not in
Actually-
2019 when they played the Raptors, or am I bugging?
It might have been. I can't remember.
I'm not even thinking that recent. I'm thinking the Lakers, who had mopped everybody in the regular season, and they had and in the playoffs, and then they're sitting down, and then Philadelphia had a dogfight through the Eastern Conference. The Lakers been sitting around for 10 days. Philly comes in here after Sunday, winning Game 7 in the East Finals. Wednesday is that game. They've been chilling. They go in there and they end up beating the Lakers. They ain't winning another game in the
So
rest
you
of
have
the season.
Dallas winning one game?
I think that they win game one. I don't think they win another game in the rest
Oh,
of the
okay.
season.
I thought you were trying to go down the route of they was going to win the
No,
series.
I'm not dragging you down
One
that
game.
rabbit hole,
Okay,
Mars.
Mark,
No, I'm
but
not
if
dragging you down that rabbit
PJ
hole.
Washington does what he normally does, can they not get 2 games?
No.
PJ Washington, if PJ Washington does what he normally does, man, Dallas in 6, man.
What do you think the matchup's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Chet and 80, or do you think it's going to be Hartenstein and 80?
Better be both.
I mean, I think
Start
OKC's
again.
gonna go.
Let's start-
OKC's gonna go a lot of double big, and they're probably gonna have Chet on Gafford or Lively, whatever, and then Hartenstein on 80. That would be my expectation.
Hartenstein on 80.
I think 80 gonna live.
Actually, nah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Chet on 80 because AD plays more on the outside.
That's
I
all
don't think the physicality of Anthony Davis. I don't think that's gonna bother Chet because Chet can drag him away from the basket, and you can't be as physical away from the basket on offense. This is what I'm thinking about with Chet on offense. On defense, I feel like Anthony Davis can bang with the best of them, and I don't think he's just gonna settle for that mid-range jump shot. I do think that he's gonna take it to him in the paint, and I think he can have some advantages against Chet in that area.
AD's not guarding Chet in that series. He's guarding
no.
He's guarding Ludo. They're putting like Najee Marshall and Chet.
Well, at the end of the game, yeah, maybe
We're gonna make him a roamer. They
putting AD on Ludo. They're gonna have Gafford and Lively on Hartenstein, and they're gonna put a wing on Chet.
Hartenstein, maybe.
Yeah.
He could
I
also
could see
do
them
that.
doing maybe a cross match, 80 guard and Hartenstein around the basket more, and have Lively guard.
That's possible, yeah.
Chet. I could see that maybe.
Austin, when the trade went down, I was obviously super angry, like everyone was. But conceptually, though, man, I think that the Mavericks, I really thought they could have like the third best team in the West.
For sure. The thing is, the dynamic is so crazy. Kyrie with a shooter like Clay, he hasn't had someone like that, and then to have Kyrie playing with the lob threat like AD and Lively, like, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I remember Kyrie was a lead. Maybe a lead, what do you want to say, lead guard or lead singer of a group. Mm-hmm. When he was with Boston, people forget, I feel like, for the first 25, 30-something games, he was the MVP candidate. And then
they was rolling.
He got hurt, and then Tatum and these guys started really becoming stars. And he came back to a messed up kind of situation. So I think, him as a lead guard, I think it's going to be interesting, especially with Dallas. Like, man, that's why I think the trade is so crazy, but it's also like Dallas has a shot to turn into something. I don't know.
If Kyrie Irving, to your point, Mars, if Kyrie Irving is healthy, right? Kyrie Irving doesn't tear up his ACL, and this is the group we got going into the playoffs. How do you like them against the field?
They'd beat Houston, they'd beat Denver, they'd beat the Timberwolves, they'd beat the Warriors.
I think they beat the Lakers too, to be honest with you. I think they beat the Lakers too. I do.
That's a tough one. I do think the size of the Mavericks would cause some problems.
Cause a lot of problems.
Yeah,
think the
maybe
Lakers
I'd favor them over the Lakers.
Do you think they could do that paint crowding thing versus Mavericks with all the sides on the court?
No, because you got guys like PJ Washington who can stretch the defense. No, you can't do that.
Well, yeah, but it's just like you can crowd the paint, but when people are vertical spaces like the Lakers have,
right?
Like we could just throw it above you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just launch it above you. Like you can't defend that vertical plane that the Mavs have at their disposal. But they could try it. But I think that'd be an interesting series. But the Mavs are for sure better than the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, in my opinion. Then I think the Clippers would be interesting. The Thunder would be interesting, and the Lakers would be interesting. That's where I would. I think they would lose to the Thunder, but
Thunder, Lakers, that would be the most interesting. I think because
I would love to have seen them against them.
Man,
sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have been crazy to see. Excuse me, I forgot about the Clippers. The Clippers too. Right now,
Clippers are. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm curious about the Clippers. I'm actually really curious about that game tomorrow. See how they come out.
Who they got first round?
Denver.
Denver.
We can go to that series now because everyone has OKC beating Dallas. Denver versus the Clippers. I'm not going to swipe it first. Austin, I'm gonna go straight to you. Who do you have?
Going LA. The vibes are good. I'm going LA.
Bob's pick.
Chill.
I'm gonna take Denver in 6. Jamal Murray gets busy against.
That's true.
He does. He gets busy against him, and I feel like that can wear down their perimeter defense. And on top of that, Chris Dunn doesn't shoot the basketball, which we can lure him into that. Just like we can lure Russ into that, but Russ will give me an open shot. He will knock down an open shot. And
from the corner.
I think Coach Adelman, the great thing about Coach Adelman is Russ knows that leash with him is short. So he has to be productive the time that he's out there. Coach Adelman is not one of these coaches where if Russ is not playing well, we'll figure it out. No, it's going to be a quick hook with him. So I think Russ will be more focused on the things that he's good at and be good at those things. I'm going to take Denver in 6.
Or if he gets come out the game quick and it starts to mess with his head and he starts to miss shots. And
Sure.
That's
Austin. That's why, for that reason, that's why I think Russ is going to be more focused on the things that he's good at because I don't want to get the quick hook.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
That's it, yeah.
Swag.
Yeah, I think I'm taking a vibes pick. I'm really just going with LA right now. James is playing well. Kawhi is looking more healthy. I don't know. I feel like Denver's just been strange all year, and after that firing, three games for the playoffs, I feel like Joker's all right. Chalk this one up. Didn't get MVP. Go play with my horses.
It's okay, Austin, to pick the better looking. It's okay to pick the better looking pick, Austin. It is. It's okay to pick the better looking.
Austin.
You know what?
It's
Austin,
all right.
I ain't gonna lie. A vibes pick, PrizePicks ought to have a section for vibes pick where they just give you like a boost, like a demon pick, a vibes pick. I like that one. I ain't gonna lie. I like the vibes pick. Like you just get a boost for the vibes.
I don't know no dude that ain't hanging around a chick. Just the energy just good. The energy with Holmgren. She might not be the best looking pick, but the energy just good. Yes.
Nah, I ain't hanging around for no energy. I can tell you.
No, don't get me wrong. You ain't marrying her, and you ain't hanging around her forever. But you know what?
Yeah, I ain't hanging around her for too long, too. By the way,
I'm feeling home, and that's what. Now he ain't. Now Austin ain't saying that Denver's winning the NBA championship, but you know what? I'll go on a date with you. I'll go hang out with you for a little bit. Let's see what it is. I'm down.
The clips.
I don't know if we going out on no date, but
The clips up.
hey, man. You know, I feel you. Hey, man, I'm just saying.
I think Zubac also. Zubac is a bigger guy, so I don't think he's gonna affect Jokic in a crazy way. But I mean, he's gonna also make him work on the other end too. And James Harden, that pick and roll with Zubac has been really effective this year. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, but remember, Jokic rim deterrence is a factor in this.
Here we go, Mars. Don't start it, Mars.
You gotta factor in. That's what I'm saying. You gotta factor in. Just gotta factor in.
We've seen James Harden cook Rudy Gobert in space to end games too, but go ahead.
Here we go.
Jordan, do you have a prediction? Clippers, Nuggets?
Like I said, man, it's so dependent on what James Harden we're gonna see. Like that's my overall thing. It's like, is James Harden the passer come out? I don't want to see just James Harden the passer. I want to see James Harden the playmaker. That's two different things.
Vibes. I'm telling you, the vibes are good.
Yeah, the vibes cool, but hey, man, PrizePicks ought to add that. If they do, we need to go ahead and copyright that. But I'm just saying, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to just pick the Nuggets. I'm gonna have to go with the Nuggets.
So
I'm gonna have to go
for
with
the
them.
Nuggets. Austin is apparently by himself on the Clippers because I have a feeling I know where Swiper's gonna go, but Swiper, Nuggets, Clippers.
So on
There you go with this.
Two
Acting like you
Why
don't
is
want
he
to
going
say
with
it.
He acted like he about to be impartial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
no.
Exactly. Here we go.
Go
with
ahead,
this
Swiper. Go ahead,
bullshit.
Swiper.
This is what I'm saying. This is why
Give
I
us
know.
all the logical reasons why you're picking the Nuggets.
This is why I know that I have so much motion in PC because I literally I started to enunciate and get my thoughts
Go
out, and then here comes
We
Lord
know you
Lazy.
don't have to get your thoughts together. We know what you about to say. You talking about I got to get my thoughts together.
Crazy.
That's
I
like
was
who we
literally-
think- who you think gonna win
this
MVP?
series 28 times since it was
Yeah,
announced.
like
Like,
as
he
soon as
doesn't
it was
know who
over,
he
he
has winning.
knew. Exactly.
Swiper, we know you've thought about this series from the moment the Clippers got the 5 seed. You're like,
I don't know why you want to act like that ain't what it is.
Just
I
coming
feel
up
like
with
you
some
thinking
rhymes
about
off
it
the
on
top
the
of my
spot. Go
head.
ahead,
You already
Swiper.
got your rhymes written down.
Now he acting. Look.
Why do you think the Nuggets are going to win, Swiper? Why do you think?
Hey, look, Mars. Now he acting like Booker T when Booker T slipped up and said the N word. Look, he said, "I'm coming for you."
As you were saying,
Austin, you see how this works? I didn't say a word.
as you were
But
saying,
you don't have to say a word. It's in the
You have
packet.
the
It's on
Nuggets
on
winning
wall. It's on
because-
the wall.
Okay.
as you were saying,
I'm gonna
Swiper,
say what
I
I'm gonna say, regardless of what Mars is pushing in the agenda again. What I have said on 2 separate platforms now is that if trying to be as neutral about this as possible, I think the Clippers have been the better team. They've been the more consistent team. I think their floor, I think everybody can agree, is higher than the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets' ceiling is higher.
Sure.
The problem is the Nuggets have not accessed their ceiling consistently.
At all.
The starters have only played 25 games together. They do have a 129 offensive rating this year together when they have played, so they have been blitzing people. But
When
Doesn't
Jokic
matter.
is on the floor.
when he's on the floor, when he's off the floor, it's in hell.
shit.
But Mars said like bringing the ball off. So some of this is, do I believe that the Nuggets can hit their ceiling and raise their floor more often than the Clippers can? I am saying no. I actually have picked Clippers in 6 already. I've already said this.
You did
but no,
oh my god,
no, there's no surprise. I think I think if people are being objective about what this is, I think the Nuggets, as everyone up here knows, they have underperformed throughout the year. I do think changing a coach matters. I do think the fact that the team has been as discombobulated as they have. Jamal Murray also could be ailed as of right now today, going into the playoffs tomorrow, which obviously would change the series. Dunn, DJJ, I think Harden, Zoo, all that stuff. I think all of it matters. So, I mean, as of right now, I think it's Clippers in 6.
Look, he only saying that.
We know what Swap is doing.
Yes, he only saying that just in case they do lose, he gonna say Clippers in 6.
I want everyone to know. I want everyone to know. I already said this. I said this on Facts and Stats. I said this on Locked On. I've already said this. I've already picked it officially, and it's gonna go out. It's going out today. Once I know all the matchups before the playoff tomorrow, it's all going out. Like, the Clippers aren't a better basketball team.
You're doing the if Jokic wins when I picked against the Nuggets.
No, there is no if. Mars, we've already had this discussion. Mars, honestly, we just did the same thing with the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Rockets in the hypothetical NBA Finals matchup. You can have the best player by a lot, which the Nuggets do.
Mm-hmm.
But from the other side of the field, they just have a much better basketball team as of right now.
Yeah.
Swipe, you got to do one of the two. Swipe, you got to do one of the two. We got to get you to hit the Booker T joint, or you got to hit the game joint, whichever one fits you best.
Which one's the game joint again?
The Red Rose, White Ceiling. Still got to get you to hit that one. The freestyle, or you got to hit the Booker T joint. Which one? Which one? You decide.
I don't know. I'm not hitting either one of them. I'm just telling you what I think.
So we have everyone. Oh, I didn't ask Jordan because you wasn't here. OKC or Dallas, Jordan? Because we have Dallas winning in the play.
I got OKC winning, but I do got Dallas winning 2 games though.
2 games, okay. So everyone had OKC winning the series. It was a 2-2 split between the Clippers and Nuggets. We're gonna go to the 3-6 matchup. I know I have to read comments every day that people are mad that we haven't spoken about the series yet. Lakers Timberwolves. Jordan,
hell of a series.
Yeah, Lakers Timberwolves.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I gotta tell y'all. By the way, I changed my mind. I got the Timberwolves going to the finals. By the way, but
goddamn, okay.
I know I got the T-Wolves, bro. I'll explain further when everybody else get a take, but I got the T-Wolves.
Go ahead. No, I mean,
so you obviously have them winning this series. So start with why you think they're going to beat the Lakers, but I do want to hear you expand on why they're going to the finals.
So I think they're going to beat the Lakers. Number one, I just feel like their defense is going to kick it up a notch. That's number one. Number two, the matchups that I think that Julius Randle will get is going to favor him. And he's going to be the X factor as far as favoring him, as far as him putting pressure on the rim, him helping, and him being able to pass the ball. They got to knock down shots, of course. I do think Ant plays a little bit different than what we've seen in the regular season. I think he trusts his teammates a little bit more. I just think that their offense is going to kick into a gear that's going to be kind of overwhelming for a lot of teams. It might be luck. Now, I would give it to you. It might be luck for a game or two, but that game or two could decide that because they could play perfect one game. So I think the Lakers just, like I said it early in the season, and all the Lakers fans crucified me when I talked about they're going to have to figure out what their offense is going to look like in the half-court set. It's one ball, and it's 3 guys who get buckets. They're all good. All 3 of them good passers, for sure. But we know, the Lakers. They got 3 guys that get buckets, and they all 3 good passes. But we know sometimes. Huh?
Yeah, he could pass.
I mean, not to
he
the
ain't
level
now.
at all.
That's what I was about to say, Austin. Okay, we ain't comparing him to Luka and James. No, we ain't doing that.
I didn't say great passes.
Yeah, he ain't at that level.
Yeah, I didn't. But AR is a good passer. But that's why I say good passer, because AR is a good passer. Luka and LeBron are great passers. So that's why I say good. But I also feel like I said, my biggest concern is what is it going to look like when LeBron doesn't have the ball, when Luka doesn't have the ball, and how much do that slow their offense down? I don't know, but I'm curious.
Who's LeBron playing defense on this series? Is he guarding Julius?
Probably Randall.
Well, who's DFS and Ruby on?
I think Ruby's going to.
Only one of them starting.
Yeah, so they're starting Ruby, so Jackson Hayes is starting.
Rudy.
Hey man, look, Rudy Gobert.
This is the series he's gonna have to show you. Really
he's gonna have to have a good series.
You know what I'm saying? Because he can't be one of those series where you can put Rudy on him for a quarter. Because that's what can happen.
I think they get
small. They can go small and make him come out to the corner.
I agree, but I also think the Timberwolves is going to get a little bit creative in figuring out ways to have Rudy Gobert do a lot more. They did it last year where they had him do a lot more, a little bit more on the ball and on defense too. They had Rudy Gobert do a little bit more. So I think they get a little bit creative. But even if they take him off the floor, I think they'll be fine. The Lakers aren't that big. You know what I mean? Like they aren't overwhelming in size.
But Jordan, it's gonna come down to the shot making, bro. Like I'm telling you, man,
Like, Wolves can make shots.
I just think the Lakers they are gonna get good shots a lot of the time on the floor with Luka.
Swiper, we've seen Julius Randle. Julius Randle can make. We haven't seen it in the playoffs, and this is the prime.
He's only been in the playoffs twice.
This is the prime opportunity for him to do that. But I feel like, and you dudes gonna crucify me for this. I watched Anthony Edwards slow down Devin Booker last year. I watched him slow down Jamal Murray last year. Not stop them, but I did watch him slow these two guys down. I think the difference in this series is AR-15, and I think that they put Anthony Edwards on him, and I think he takes him out. I think he takes him out of the series. And now we asking James, who at his advanced age,
That's a good point.
James at his advanced age, and Luka to throw this unit on our back and get there. Now we got a lack of size.
It's possible, but it's a good point, though, Chill. It's possible, but you got a very good point.
Now we got a lack of size to you guys' point about the Lakers. Okay, sure. We got Rui at 6'8", 6'9". We got James at 6'9". We also got Luka at 6'7", 6'8". Those guys are on the perimeter. We got big guys like Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. We need stops. And when I say stops, I mean we need to get on the glass. And I think that's going to be Julius Randle's biggest attribute in this series. The fact of him knocking down shots, I can appreciate that.
Who's more important in this series, Nas or Julius? Just based on the matchup.
Julius. Sure. Julius, but if I was a T-Wolves, I'll try to put get that matchup with Luka on Julius a lot too. I'll try to, because if we can get him in foul trouble, Luka in foul trouble, he'll start crying.
Just keep Rudy away from Luka. Do everything that we can to keep Rudy away from Luka.
I mean, but that's why I said when I brought up their size, like I'm not saying the Lakers are a short team. I'm saying they're not underwhelming with big, so I don't know if you have to play Rudy as much if shit goes south. I don't know if you have to have him on the floor if it goes south, because the Lakers don't have very many bigs. Like Jackson Hayes is, he's a semi-big, but it's like I don't have to have Rudy Gobert on the floor for Jackson Hayes.
There's going to be stretches where he's not playing. I'm that point.
And that's totally fine.
Jordan, who has the ball? Go ahead.
No, you were saying.
Well, Jordan, who has the ball the last 5 minutes of the game then? Because I'm trying to figure out
for who?
The Wolves.
Anthony Edwards. Yeah.
Why not?
It's got to be Anthony Edwards.
Because
to your point, Spiper, because I know where you're going with this, and that's where Julius Randle has to make shots.
Oh my gosh!
But
he has to generate shots. He has to make shots or generate shots.
We got to give him credit for the distributor and playmaker that he is, 100%. And I feel like we got to rebound. We have to hold the Lakers as much as possible to one shot. That's where Julius Randle is going to come in.
Man, he's going to be big. Can't get no technical foul either, bro. He get a technical foul. That shit.
He said he's going to be quiet. He's capping, but that's what he said.
He cannot get no technical.
Because you lose him.
Yeah,
he gets suspended. And it's like,
bro, yeah, second most in the NBA this year, I think. Or maybe the first.
And that's why that shit add up. All that crying.
That in the playoffs, though.
I hope the referee don't just don't just sell it and be like, I'm gonna tech his ass up, because it's like they did that shit with the Warriors, and I don't think we ever gonna see that shit ever again. Where they, unless it's egregious, like he just do something horrible. But I hope they never.
Hey,
do
but
that
look,
again.
Jordan, I'm closing, man. Like, bro, here's the thing: they're gonna have to get, and this I genuinely mean this, in order to beat the Lakers for the Wolves, you have to get 3 good games from Nikhil, Dante, and I would even just say maybe not Jaden, but Nas.
What's
those
a good game?
3 players?
I think you're gonna get 3 games.
Like they have to have positive impact. Like they need to play defense. They need to be able to hit open shots off those drives. They just have to be able to convert looks. And on the other end, getting Nikhil, Dante, get up an AR spot. He is not an ISO player, super heavy, but he's a great pick and roll player because he just knows how to use that, all this stuff. So I'm saying like you got to be very diligent where your hands are, and you got to guard smart. They have the guards to do it though, but it's just a matter of doing it. I just don't know if I trust them to do it versus the Lakers consistently, man. Like, I really struggle with that.
So you have the Lakers winning?
You know, my heart wants the Wolves to win the series,
Yeah.
but my head is telling me it's going to be the
I wanna
Lakers in
pick them
6.
so bad.
Hey, part of the reason why I got the Wolves going to the finals too, I know Mars, we're gonna move on. Part of the reason why I got the Wolves going to the finals too. Can't forget about their experience. Hey man, you can't forget about their experience, dog. Can't forget about their experience.
But you got them over the Lakers, by the way. The team of like
No, if they get over the Lakers, that's why I got them. That's part of my reason why. If they beat the Lakers, then I got them going to the finals.
Mars,
they would play the Warriors or Rockets in round 2. But
they can beat both of them teams. Yeah.
Lakers, Timberwolves.
I think if the series gets extended, I think everything I said, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves extend this series. But I think if we get to a game 7, I'm not picking against James.
Nice, Gio. Nice. Way to bring that back up and sit on it. Nice.
I'm not.
Austin?
I can't do it, Jordan. I can't.
I got the Lakers for sure.
That's 3 for the Lakers and Jordan.
I say that because of I think consistently the Lakers are just going to give good shots, and in the fourth quarter, when the game slows down, I know Luka's going to make the plays that are going to get these guys either open. He's going to get off a good shot, and his safety valve is LeBron James.
Yeah, I agree, but hey, man, I just know shit can go sour.
Like, that's what I don't like. His
I got this thing right here.
Valve is LeBron James. So like, hey, if I'm not having a good night, I can rely on you. And then to have AR, like, even though I think AR is going to give you 3 good games.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll give you 4 23 plus, but he's going to give you 3 good games. And I think AR is like, because my thing is who's going to guard Luka? Daniels?
Probably.
Well, Julius and Jaden, yeah, both of them. Julius actually done a good job.
Better not.
Yeah, he done a good job in regular season. In the playoffs, it's gonna be a little bit different.
Well, the thing is Luka hitting is he's converting twos? I'm
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like Swiper, you right. Like this is what I'm talking about with the Lakers. Like they could shit the bed a couple games.
I think that also, like, when I look at it, who's going to guard LeBron? It's going to be Julius Randle. It's like you were saying, Chill. Like, as good as Julius Randle's been,
don't forget Bron got a groin injury
in a playoff series.
Don't forget Bron got a groin injury.
And yeah, that's true too. That's why I'm gauging off of him being fully healthy.
Yeah.
So my thing is if LeBron is fully healthy, I think that the way that they're going to be able to play toward the end of the game when the playoffs start to slow down in the game, I think that they're going to consistently get better shots than Minnesota. So I'm going with the Lakers.
Man, I think we underestimating that groin injury too, man. I know he hurt it last week. Usually miss some time. He missed some time early in the season with it. But it also gave him some time. I ain't gonna go there. You know what? I ain't gonna go there.
Let's get to the final series in the West.
I always know where I was going with that.
Yeah,
I do.
Let's get to the final series in the West. I'm gonna go to Jordan last because he has emotions invested in this series, as you can see behind him. The Warriors versus the Rockets. Chill. Who do you have?
This is short for me, Mars. I'm going to take, with the exception of them just beating them, the Warriors own them. I'm going to take the Warriors. I'm sorry, Mars.
Crazy.
This is why I hate Steph Curry, bro.
Chill. Jumping on the Curry bandwagon after
exactly.
I'm glad you're up here, Austin, because the last time I saw you, brother, last time I saw you, brother, we was having a conversation and you were telling me, yo, how about you get somebody to help this dude carry this couch? And it turns out he got somebody to help him carry it.
Look at the dude, and the dude is a great player, but he's not even. Think of Curry got Luka. Good God.
No.
Okay, so I know where Austin's going with this series.
I'm just saying, like, look at this.
This is why I hate Curry right here, though. I'm a known Curry hater right here.
Listen, you can hate him, but he
Jordan ain't even bullshit. You like Curry.
I told you. I was telling my friend the other day. I was like, he was asking me like, why? When did I started hating on the Warriors? Because I used to be a fan of the Warriors, like when they had Matt Barnes and stuff like that. And he's like, why you start hating on the Warriors? And I'm like, number one, it was when they was kicking the Rockets' ass. But then this was the real turning point. I had a best friend. We used to watch Rockets games, and then one day they was playing the Warriors in the playoffs. And then I look on Instagram, and he's at the game. And then his girlfriend turned the camera around, and he had a Steph Curry jersey on. And after that, I was like, "Oh, this some bullshit." I think from that point forward, I just lost my I just couldn't do it. I'm like, Curry, you guys didn't in Houston. He wasn't in San Francisco. He was in Houston. and ever since then, I felt betrayed. So it's up. You know, it's up.
I understand it, but man, that dude just affect. Like I told you, I said he affects the game on such a crazy level that you don't even really get to see until he was able to have some of the pieces that he had before, and he doesn't even have that. He has no big, he has no lob threat. I could only imagine if they are able to get some type of lob threat. Yep. If they even had a Jackson Hayes, like if they even had something like that.
The Warriors definitely needed a lob threat. They went and got Quinn Post.
Quinn Post is better than Jackson Davis, but
but they don't have no lob threat like that. I mean, Quinn Post is 21 years old. I think he's 21.
He like 24.
They do have a lob threat. They got three lob threats.
He looked 34. I'm like, God damn.
They got three lob threats. What you yapping about?
Who was three lob threats?
Moses, they got Kuminga, Moses Moody. Yeah, they got plenty.
Moses Moody ain't no lob threat.
Yes, he is. Kuminga and Jackson Davis.
No, Moses y'all tripping.
When are they gonna pick and roll with Moses Moody and roll to the rim for a lob threat?
GP2 low key a lob threat. GP2.
Have you seen Moses jump?
I know lob threat, Mars. I get you on the fast break. Yeah.
Kuminga on the dunker lob from Draymond, but he's not playing right now. He's getting coaches DM.
He's gonna have to play in this Rocket series.
He gonna play. He gonna play against the Rockets.
I think he will play, and I think he'll be ready for the situation.
I hope he play against the Rockets.
I'm ready for the Rockets run to be over. These Rockets fans, boy, I tell you what, bro. Oh my gosh, you would act like they invented sliced bread the way they're talking about this season. My goodness.
But we playing against the Warriors, so Rockets fans turn into Warriors fans. Watch the divide. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. I got told, Jordan. I got told 2 days ago, Amin Thompson's the best athlete in NBA history. Got told that. I got told just the other day. Don't you nod at that, Mars. I got told the other day when we were bringing up all the clutch stuff for all the clothes and all that stuff. Well, it's an 82 game sample size, but on the other end of this, the Rockets been an elite defense for 82 games. No, you haven't. And the Warriors got the #1 defense in the NBA since they got Jimmy Butler. But y'all never want to bring up that context. I hope Steph Curry.
Small sample size.
See Dylan Brooks and Alfred Schenkel. Run off a screen. Fuck it.
I don't.
Right in Houston for game 5.
I don't hope that, number one. But I'm telling y'all, Steph Curry wouldn't be #1 in jersey sales throughout that time if all of Houston gave back the goddamn jerseys they bought for him. Like, I'm telling y'all, I hate the Warriors because of that. Houston fans just turn on the Rockets for Steph. So Steph makes a 3, they cheer for him.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what everywhere he goes now. That's everywhere.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
To Gate Lee's point,
they say
Rockets fans told us Amin Thompson will be the best player in the series, bro.
Hey, a man finna shut his water off. The man might shut his water off 1 or 2 games, but Steph gonna come out and have a 40 ball after. But 1 or 2 games, a man gonna shut that water off.
Jordan,
Steph gonna throw that mouthpiece.
Those 3 all have the Warriors, and they seemingly have the Warriors.
But if I take my emotions out of it.
What's so crazy is though, like you got a 6'7", what'd you say? The most athletic guy ever in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that.
I didn't say that, but slightly than it.
You got a 6'7", one of the most athletic guys in the NBA guarding a a 6'1" point guard, a 6'2" point guard.
Yeah.
All right. I've never seen a 7'4", 330-pound guy guarding Bron. I've just never seen. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna put it in context, I've never seen someone moving their feet 7 inches taller than Bron guarding. Like it's just that's what I'm saying. The effect that he has on the game is so crazy.
I'm gonna just be real. If I take my emotions out of it, Mars, and I just look at the fan, I got the Rockets winning in 6 games. I'm just being real. I got the Rockets winning in 6 games. Like Memphis had them down to the wire, and I know it's just 1 game. Memphis had them down to the wire, but while I was watching that game, I saw some things that the Rockets could do to beat the Warriors, and a double big lineup is one of them. The double big lineup is one of them. They go to that double big lineup. Now, the problem with it is they can't kick out the Desmond Bain. Jalen Green will have to be Desmond Bain, by the way. Or Salty Aldama. We ain't got that. Jeff Green might play a little bit. But we got defenders too. We got a bunch of defenders. We got more defenders than Memphis. And Jaren Jackson play like trash. So,
Mars, can your Houston team? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Mars, can this Houston team, with the same logic that I have with the Lakers, can your Houston team slow down Podziemski and make Curry and buckets 35, 38 a game guys?
If we can't slow down Podziemski, he shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Brandon Kaminsky,
right.
but if he's causing havoc for us,
That's what I'm talking about.
And we
Like,
got a problem.
I think
He ain't
I think
causing
that's
no
the series,
fuss.
Moss. If
He ain't
Podziemski is
causing no havoc
19,
for
if
But
he's
didn't
19
he
to
have a
20,
great game against Houston this year?
yes, if he, that's what I'm talking about, Austin.
Like-
If he's 19 to 24 a game, I think they make quick work of
He
him. I
not
think they
doing
make quick work
19 to
of him.
24 a game on us. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes.
He
don't
may
think
calling that
yeah.
timeout and that shit. They wrapping that shit
Yes.
up. They cutting the water off right in the timeout. Like,
Mhm.
hey, stop that. I just feel like we have a little bit more now. Jalen, this all goes to if Jalen Green can play like Desmond Bain. Now, if he give us what Desmond Bain. Ja didn't play his best against them, but we got Fred VanVleet. Hey man, Fred VanVleet is a sleeper.
Mhm.
So I'm okay. We can, substitute. And what I'm doing here is substituting points for points and player for player.
Mhm.
So if Jalen Green can do what Desmond Bain did, we still got Tari Eason, we still got Amin Thompson, we still got Shangoon, Jabari. Shangoon might hurt. Draymond might be too overwhelming for him. We got double big lineup. You can run with Steven Adams.
Mhm.
I think we can effectively beat them in 6 games.
Oh,
It's gonna be
don't-
hard. It's gonna every game gonna be down to the wire, but
Y'all have
it don't matter if it's
but
down
y'all
the wire
have
if
to
we
play the
win.
Lakers next, bro. Man, no, man, I ain't
Why-
trying to see
ain't
that.
Nobody thinking about the damn Lakers
I ain't
next.
trying to see that, bro. I don't want to see no Lakers versus
He
Rockets.
thinking from.
Well,
He thinking
Jordan
from
thinks
a
it'll be
standpoint.
Rockets Timberwolves. So.
It's gonna be the Rockets Timberwolves. Then the
Yeah,
Timberwolves
Jordan
gonna
thinks
be the
it'll
Rockets.
Timberwolves. But that's the West. So if I
You
remember
ain't say what
correctly-
you think.
I haven't said what I thought about any of the series.
All right, but you're a
Um,
Rockets fan, so I want to hear this one.
Oh, I mean, watch my podcast. I spoke about yesterday.
Man, I got about 2 hours of him and John D. banter.
And it's not. It's
I have
not.
timestamps. You can fast
It's
forward.
no
I have
timestamps.
Yeah, I have timestamps because I do my job. But so if I remember correctly, it was a 2-2 split for the Denver Nuggets and the Clippers. Everyone had OKC beating Dallas.
Mhm.
It was 3-1. Lakers over Timberwolves. Jordan was the one, and it was 3-1 Warriors over Rockets. Jordan was again the one.
I didn't get the
Jordan-
same on, but I think
We know what you. I just heard you
No,
glaze Steph Curry for 4 minutes. I know who you
No,
have winning.
The way what he was saying about the defenders that they have a lot of defenders throw at Steph. And I know Ime Udoka, he's a really, really good coach.
Oh, was you on the team when he was there with the Spurs when he was coaching?
He's a really, really good coach. So like seeing the way he is, and just you can see how his animosity is towards anybody.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how he is as a person.
He just looked like one of them dudes that just wants
he
smoke.
wants all the smoke all the
Yeah,
time.
he just looked like one of them dudes.
Was he like that with y'all in practice?
All the time, yeah. That's what I loved about you, man. Like playing, he would be playing 3-on-3 with us, 4-on-4 with us, giving the guys that weren't playing as much. He's playing with us all the time. But that's what I loved about him. But I mean, when I look at the way that team is, I want to say it might take them one more year, and I want to say the Warriors. But I look at that team, I really think they could be like one of the biggest sleepers to get to like the Western Conference Finals if they can raise their level. And yeah. I really do. I really think they're really, really good because I think they have a real good balance.
Yeah,
a lot of guys can score. A lot of guys can shoot. They got Sengun, who's like
he's gonna be the X factor.
Jokic, nowhere near Jokic, but like
baby Jokic.
So, yeah, maybe like okay, but I get what
But
I know.
he's the X factor.
Baby Brad Miller.
Preconception Jokic. Yeah.
Look, Austin. Sengun's the X factor because he
I
could
think so,
also
too. That's
turn
what I
the
was saying.
ball over and
that's
shit.
Is he going to shoot 50% from the field, Mars?
That's what I was gonna say. If he can match up well with Draymond and really have a good series, I think that I think if Draymond asserts himself and is dominant defensively in this series, I think that the Warriors will win. So I'm gonna go with a veteran, hoping that he's a defensive juggernaut this series, and I'm gonna go with the Warriors. Although I really think that Houston has a chance to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, so yeah, hating on the Rockets, what a surprise. So yeah. That's our West predictions. The panel has decided the Nuggets and Clippers will basically be a tie. OKC will win, the Warriors will win, and the Lakers will win. Over to the East. I'm gonna start with just the one that should be like very easy. There's 2 series that are quite simple. The Cavs are beating whoever comes out the play-in, right?
The Cavs are beating Miami in 4 games. Yeah. I don't think
everyone have the Cavs over Miami.
I don't think Miami wins 1 game in that series. I don't.
Okay, there we go.
Or Atlanta.
Even though I want to hate on Donovan Mitchell, but I'm gonna give it to
one of
him.
them. I don't think they win 1 game in that series.
So there you go. That's a unanimous panel decision. And then the other one that should be unanimous: Boston beating Orlando.
I don't think they get a game. They're
gonna get a game. Chill. They're gonna get a game. Probably gonna get 2.
How you get playoff series off?
Chill.
Yeah, I don't think they get a game.
Welcome to the East. Welcome to the
Hey,
East.
This is the same thing when the Bucks beat
Hey,
the Chicago
you
Bulls
think-
before they play versus the Celtics in 22. That's a week off.
yeah, hey,
The
I
Bulls
don't
won
know
that one
though.
game.
I don't know if the Cavs gonna
One,
beat
because Lamar
Atlanta.
had 40.
Hey man, ice trade might get cold as hell for the Cavs. Boy,
Wait,
ice
yeah,
trade-
Jordan, you wasn't here. Do you have the Hawks beating the Heat?
yeah.
Yeah, no one else was with you. Everyone else with you.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, when the Heat play like that, of course they're gonna say that shit. But before they wasn't gonna say it. But now I'm still gonna stick by what I've been seeing from Trey. He gonna get in that play and watch.
But
It's
you got,
finna get
you got the Cavs beating the Hawks, though, right?
It could get chilly in there, man. I just know it could get chilly in there.
Boy, here we
Hey
go.
man, it
Let's put a
get
coat on.
chilly. He start rolling dice. And hey man, you know how high I am on Trey. You know how high I
Yeah,
am
but
on
let's
him.
be serious. You got the Cavs winning.
I
No,
want to
he
say
doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I wanna
He got
say-
Atlanta beating them. He does. He got Atlanta.
after the
He already-
first game,
he's
I'm
told
gonna
us-
tell you the truth.
Jordan
After the
has
first game,
told
I'm
us-
gonna tell you the truth.
As Jordan has told us, quote, I wouldn't be surprised if they got their ass beat in the first round.
I
He
did
told
say
us
that. So
Yeah, but not by the Hawks.
all right, I'm stamped. Yeah, I didn't know they was gonna play the Hawks. But look, I'm stamping it though. They gonna get their ass beat the first round. If they play the Hawks, they losing. Now if they play the Heat, they gonna get the Heat out of there.
Okay, so
But
you got
if they play
the
the Hawks-
Hawks winning. Okay, so you're by yourself once
Yeah.
again. Everyone else has the Cavs winning.
Yeah, I'm always by
Everyone
myself.
has
You know,
Boston
I'm
beating
tallying up my wins. You bet not let me win one series. Because I'm gonna
Yeah,
forget
you
about the other
remember
ones
that
I
one,
lost.
and the
Yes,
other 7
exactly.
you was wrong about.
Exactly. I'm always
I was
good
right
about
about
one.
this one though.
Y'all
Yeah,
don't know
dark.
which one I'm.
As long
Yeah,
as you're
'cause-
right about the Rockets
dark
one,
horse.
yeah, I'll let you victory lap.
Yeah, y'all don't know. Yeah, I'm the dark horse. I've been the dark horse this whole time. So listen, y'all don't know which one I'm trolling on either. So it don't really matter. I could always say I was just trolling. So
And everyone
It don't
has
matter.
Boston over Orlando. Sorry, Orlando fans. But now onto like the series that are more contentious. Knicks versus Pistons.
Pistons.
Swiper. Who do you have? Knicks versus Pistons. Jordan already had the Pistons. Okay, that was quick.
Yep.
Swiper. Knicks or Pistons?
I got Knicks. I have to take the Knicks. I got Knicks
Bullshit.
6,
Sure.
7.
I got the Knicks.
7.
Take
2 for the
Knicks.
Knicks.
I'll take the Knicks in 7. I think it's.
I guess I'm by myself on again. Y'all,
Yeah.
man, come on, man.
Damn, Jordan, how you gonna be by yourself every pick?
That's crazy, bro. I got Detroit. Come on, man. The bad boys is back. I said this already. The bad boys is back.
Isn't someone hurt though in Detroit? Someone's hurt.
Yeah.
Jaden.
Jaden Ivey.
Jaden
Yeah,
Ivey
he-
is hurt.
Been hurt. Yeah.
No. Some one of their rotation players got a little banged up. Is it Stu?
No,
Someone.
Stu's-
I
mm-mm.
swear I
Some
thought
one of their rotation players is banged up. It's not Jaden Ivey been hurt the whole season.
I'm trying to
So
remember. I
it's-
don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't remember.
I don't think Isaiah Stewart played in their last game of the season. I don't know if
Durant's
that's
not-
because he was hurt.
Mm.
I don't think Isaiah Stewart played to close the season, but I don't know.
Jalen
You're
Duren.
talking about Ron Harper.
Ron Holland.
I think Ron Harper's hurt, right?
Ron
Ron
Holland.
Yeah. Ron Hollins. Yeah, my bad. Hollins. Yeah, he's hurt, though,
Jalen-
right? I think he's hurt.
Jalen Duren versus Cat. Isaiah Stewart versus Cat. I mean, they can bully. Maybe they bully. Could be.
Yeah,
But you have
I mean, Cade's been killing the Knicks. I don't know why. That's one thing Cade's been killing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
And they think
saying.
Won 3 out of the 4 matchups.
I think so, yeah.
Somebody just said it. Y'all know who I'm going with.
I
This-
might go Detroit. I might go with Detroit.
Ooh,
There we go. And
Jordan,
look,
you got
listen.
someone on
And
side, too.
this one gonna move the needle too. This one gonna move the needle.
Playing so well, and then also when I look at it, like you were saying, you know, Carl Anthony Towns, when you look at his numbers in the playoffs, they all drop. Everything drops, and I don't want to like say that because I know he's a good player and he's playing really well this year. But in the playoffs, his numbers
Go the other way.
18 a game, 10 rebounds a game, field goal percentage goes down, and you know they let a lot of more stuff. They let more stuff go in the playoffs, and with that type of team with Stewart and Detroit's physicality, I think it might. Yeah, I mean, I think Detroit has a real good chance. So I'm gonna go.
And this one gonna move the needle.
And I love
This one's gonna stamp my take at the beginning of the year. Dennis Schroeder gonna be the X factor.
Oh my!
Hey, listen, Dennis Schroeder being that X factor. Then I will admit, after that series, y'all gonna get my answer about the Derek White and Dennis Schroeder thing.
Okay.
Hey,
that was that. Hey, and I chimed in on that. I forgot about that. I will. Chime in on, I will say this, Chill. Depending on where team this person goes to, I get what he was saying. I get what he was saying. No, I get what he was saying though, because it's like kind of like I look at it like the like if you were gonna put Derek White on the Brooklyn Nets a year or two ago, I don't think he orchestrates and runs the offense as good to get as many good shots 4 guys is Dennis Schroeder because he's more of like a Steve Nash, Trae Young type playmaker with pick and roll. I can see that he would have the team clicking on a little bit better because they has all
He's
catch
a
and
point
shoot
guard.
guys.
He's a point guard. Yeah,
right.
he's a point guard.
Derek
White's not a
White,
point guard.
he plays point guard for the Boston.
He played
Celtics.
point guard sometimes too.
Yeah,
But
Jason Tatum played point guard for the Boston
But
Celtics.
that's what I'm
He's
saying.
their primary ball handler.
So are we asking him to be a 2 guard for the Brooklyn Nets, or are we asking him to be a point guard? That's what I want to know.
Okay, first of all, we're
Maybe
asking him
I'll be a
to.
two-guard.
First and foremost, we're asking him to do more because he's on a worse team. That's number one. Number
Yeah.
two,
And I think Dennis does that better because
Okay.
that's just his solid play.
okay,
Yeah,
so
he's a better point guard. I agree.
okay, so now we're basically in kind of similar roles where you're a rotation guy. Your role is different than it is now. I do my job better than you do. 100%.
Can we agree to disagree on this, Joe? If Derek White was on the German national team and they went and played in Europe, do you think that they have a better chance with Dennis Schroeder winning the world championship, or do you think they have a better chance with Derek White?
I think it's Dennis because number one, Dennis has played internationally longer, so he knows the international game.
Oh, what the international ball shit? You know what I'm getting at.
He tried to weave it. He tried to weave it.
International game is way different, so I don't think that.
You just tried to swerve.
No.
But with Derek White, it's way different.
Mars, answer this. Swipe it. Answer this. Real question.
Mars, you better not go against your country.
No, I think Dennis Schroeder would be Dennis Schroeder. I think that if you're asking who do I want to be my best player on my team, I want Dennis Schroeder. If you're asking who do I want to lead my national team, I want Dennis Schroeder. But international aside, in the NBA, any team that's led by Dennis Schroeder or Derek White,
they're not
They're
good.
gonna suck. They're gonna suck. Of course.
I got what your point was. And that's
there you go.
On a bad team, if I'm a GM and I have a bunch of shooters, just a bunch of 3-and-D guys, and I need to try to get a chance to get to a play.
20 wins. 20 wins. Yeah, 30 wins. 30 wins.
20. Oh yeah. Okay. 25, 30, 35 wins. I feel like I got a better chance with Dennis Schroeder running the show than I do Derek White somewhat running the show on my team.
I agree with that.
I just want to know. I just want to know what was Detroit looking like before they got Dennis Schroeder.
Next series. It was 2-2. Austin and Jordan went with the Pistons.
Yeah.
Swiper and Chill went with the Knicks. Final series, Pacers, Bucks. We did just hear the news about Daye potentially being available at some point during this series. Chill, I'm gonna start with you. Pacers, Bucks.
I think I get a masterclass from Giannis. I think that he could throw this unit on his back and do it. I do. I think all the talk about him doing what he did in the past, losing in the playoffs in the first round, I think I get a masterclass from him. I think they drop Indiana.
Austin?
I feel like Giannis has to do it, no? Being where he's at in his career, I feel like he's got to get out the first round this year, no matter if Dame plays or not. I feel like the narrative would be pretty bad if he doesn't get out the first round this year. He had a bad back injury last year, so I can't say anything about that. I'm one to say. Back injury is the worst.
It was a calf.
You want to get Ben Simmons that bell, though?
No, hell no, because Ben Simmons, I ain't giving Ben Simmons nothing because that shit Ben Simmons doing ain't got nothing to do with his back.
He's got
nothing
bad
to do with his damn back. No, it's bad skills. It's called bad skills.
That's what it is. But anyway, so Austin, do you have the Bucks, or do you just think the Bucks have to win?
I have the Bucks. I have the Bucks because I think Giannis is going to be able to get his team to the second round. When I look at the teams, I like Tyrese Halliburton, but I'm not a big Halliburton fan. So
yeah, me neither. So you ain't by yourself on him.
Yeah, I like him. I just don't. He don't really do it for me. I think. Yeah, I got the Bucks.
Jordan, do you have the Bucks?
Of course, I got the Bucks. Man, Giannis. First of all, Giannis finna put on a masterclass against them, and while he put on that masterclass, you're gonna see his playmaking just rise to a level like we've seen the last couple games of the regular season. And there's no way Indiana and Milwaukee has the guards that can sit down and guard. I mean, they got the personnel to sit down and guard the Pacers. Like they gonna switch everything. I think they can switch it. I mean, the Pacers don't really play heavy ISO, but they can switch everything and make it a little bit harder for them, especially with Giannis as a defender too. But I got the Bucks 4-2 max. I mean, they're gonna win 2 games max. That's what I think.
Swiper.
Oh, Pacers.
I figured. Okay, so that's 3-1. So we've got everyone had Boston beating Orlando. Jordan is the only one who had the Cavs losing.
Mhm.
3-1 Bucks over Pacers. Swipe had the Pacers winning. And what was the other series? Knicks Pistons was 2-2. Jordan and Austin had the Pistons.
If I said that,
Sure.
the Bucks look better without Dame in the series, how would you feel about that?
I wouldn't like that at all. When you take 24 game out the lineup, that's not.
Hey,
The defense
Swipe.
is significantly worse with
Even
Dame
if
this
it
year.
even if his defense is bad as it is, if you're
I've
taking,
seen them Rim Deterrence.
I mean, they won the
I'm so sick of them all.
they won the mid-season tournament.
They
won the
played
in-season
in-season
tournament.
tournament.
They won the
Yeah.
in-season tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat OKC.
And that during OKC's
With Dame playing.
15-game winning streak that was snapped in half, but never counted because it was the play-in.
It's ridiculous that those
Championship.
games don't count. In-season tournament final, playing games, like, it doesn't count.
I don't
to
know
play
why
stuff.
that don't count. That shit don't make
Very
no
weird.
sense.
But
At that point, why are we doing it? It should count 100%.
I
I
agree.
just don't get it.
Is what's Brook Lopez doing in this series?
He's playing.
winning
He's
it.
playing this
apparently.
series.
He's winning it. Apparently. Yeah.
No, I don't know
Yeah.
about winning it, but he can play in this series.
You just said the Bucks are winning, so Brook Lopez is gonna win the series.
Oh no, he's talking about Brook Lopez. He said Brook Lopez. What he gonna do in the series? I'm saying he's gonna play. You saying he gonna win it? Like he gonna
He gonna win the
Yeah.
series. He gonna win the series. Torian Prince gonna win the series. Gary Trent
You
gonna win the
said
series.
like he the X
gonna
factor
win.
though, boy. Like he's winning it. Like nah, hell nah, that ain't what I'm saying.
Hey man, respect my dog Pascal Siakam in the series, man. He was the best.
I like
He was a-
Pascal.
He
Yeah,
was
that's
a
because
top-
Giannis went there to Garden. That's because Giannis went.
I like
He was
Pascal.
was he the best Eastern Conference player in the first round last year? That
Oh
how he
yeah,
had that?
maybe he was hooping crazy in the first round.
Yeah, he
was
went nuts.
Man, I like Pascal, bro. I seen where he came from, bro. Pascal was raw as shit, bro.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm talking about a lot of people probably wouldn't see it too because when he was with Toronto, shit be covered up. Like
Mhm.
Pascal was raw as shit, bro. I remember watching him work out in LA and like, what the fuck? This is Pascal Siakam? Like he in runs.
What
looking
year was this?
horrible.
What year was this?
2020. It was
Oh god
2020.
damn! So this is like prime
Bro.
Pascal.
Bro. And
Prime.
whatchamacallit, it's like, what the fuck is Pascal doing? But to see him now, it's like, damn, he got so much better. But what's his name? To what's his name? Credit. What's his name? Rico Hines. Like his credit.
That was how
He
Rico
sit-
wrote
Yeah, he sit down and man, Pascal was in there every day. We was in there. Pascal was in there before us, like hours before.
Was that
So-
before the bubble or after the bubble?
It was before the bubble. It was like right
The
when
bubble,
they
the
shut
bubble
down.
was
They were
bad for
sneaking.
Pascal. The bubble was bad for
I,
Pascal.
I saw him in runs before that, and I was like, "It's no way in hell he about to take this shit." But he didn't have a real game. You know what I mean? You play alongside
Mhm.
Kawhi, you play alongside the Raptors, where their offense is flew like that. He didn't have a game to where it is now. Now his game is like, shout out to
I'll
Pascal.
I didn't know
always
the bubble
remember-
was this bad for Pascal. God damn, he shot 39% from the
Yeah, it was
field.
horrible.
Telling you,
but-
bro, I seen it with my own
That was his
eyes.
first year as an All-Star. I remember. Was he most improved that year? Oh, it was most improved the year before. But he made All NBA second team, and then he went into the playoffs and like this is when he got like the spin move merchant allegations because like
Yeah.
all he did was spin. Like that's all he did.
He did that shit in
Yeah.
pickup too, and it was
Yeah.
just
Oh, so you
nasty, bro.
seen it beforehand? So you
I
weren't
see-
surprised when he shot.
Bro, I probably have videos on my phone, bro. I'm telling you, like that was when KD was hosting the runs. Like he was like sneaking, we was like sneaking doing the runs, and I was like, this shit look bad for Pascal, bro. And he went right into the playoffs, and this shit looked bad. But he a grinder, bro. He put his head down. He gonna work, and he looks so much better now. So shout out to Pascal. I can't even hate on him, but
Shout out to Pascal.
I know what it
Siakam.
was before.
That's everyone. That's all the predictions. So PC has OKC winning. They have unfortunately the Warriors winning. They have the Lakers winning, and we don't know between the Nuggets and the Clippers. And then we have Cleveland winning, Boston winning. We don't know about the Knicks or the Pistons, and we have the Bucks winning. On to super chats. I will do this as quickly as possible, but also
What we got, Moss?
Mad Max Sports Talk said the 3-pointer between era argument is so overstated. That's back to what Chill was debating on House of Highlights. I seen you bring up Del Ellis and Larry Bird and Craig Hodges and stuff. Very interesting names. OG Team said, is it an L take if I say Carl Anthony Towns, Triple J, and Randall are the same tier of player? Low IQ, unreliable offensively in the playoffs, turnover prone, fouls, and need to play next to a center.
I think
they in
Cat's
the same
better
team?
than. I think Cat
They
has
damn
proven to be better.
Triple J is below them, bro. Triple J
is not
Wow.
worse than Julius Randle.
shit. Bro, I was pissed
So
off
what are the
watching him
numbers?
in Memphis.
Carl Anthony Towns is 18-10. I think I saw something. He was like low 40s field goal percentage, mid 30s or
Sounds
low
about
30s
right.
3-point percentage.
Yes, it gets worse in the playoffs.
In his playoff career, he's 18.8,
That's what I'm talking
10
about.
rebounds,
Playoffs.
47% from the field, 35% from three.
47 is not. 47.
Last
47,
couple
yeah.
postseasons where like the Timberwolves were like serious,
Mhm.
he is pretty much the same numbers. Like it hasn't really changed. So
And what's Triple J at in the playoffs?
He only played in one playoffs, right?
now he played in the playoffs in 21 and he played in 23
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
and
Two.
22. So Triple J in his playoff career, 16 points per game, 7 rebounds,
Yeah, he doesn't-
39.9% from the
Think about
field,
Triple
Bro,
J. Just
that-
get a lot of boards.
34% from
Bro, Triple J, bro, watching Triple J the other night, bro, that shit looked fucking garbage, bro. He looked horrible on offense and defense. I'm like, bro, what the hell is? I don't know. Maybe the Warriors just scared the shit out of him. I don't know. He just did not look good. Bro.
Yeah, he stunk. We can call a spade a spade.
Yeah, it's tough when you gotta trap outside the 35 feet and then rotate. It's pretty hard to do all that.
Yeah. I understand that it's hard. But even on offense, he
just
wasn't
have to
like.
sneak step propaganda into everything. Like, oh damn, we didn't need to do that.
I mean, it is hard. I will give it to him, but. Bro, I was watching that shit. I was like flabbergasted. Memphis didn't do a good job too of putting him in position. Ja kept trying to like, hey, post him up. I'm like, man, fuck no. Get him out of that post up shit.
But that's
So he
how
can
he's
go
been
to his
getting
left
most of
hand.
his money. So it's
Not
like,
against
if
the
he
Warriors,
can't
you
do-
ain't getting that.
Yeah, but if he can't do that, then
pick
what do you have him
gotta
doing? Just
make
standing around
Draymond
scoring.
close
You
out.
got to pick and pop on that Warriors though. You
You
can't.
cannot make Draymond just sit.
You can't let Draymond chase you up. It's a
Oh,
wrap.
I agree, but that goes back to John Jackson's flaws. Like if he can't post up certain matchups, you're gonna have him just hovering around the 3-point line. Like
Yeah,
you're not
and
getting.
that's what he does.
I would just have a
Who-
screen and pop. Screen pop.
Julius Randle in his playoff career, 17 points per game, 9 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 3.9
46 true
turnovers,
shooting.
34% from the field, 28% from three.
Garbage.
34 from the field.
Garbage.
Damn,
yo.
Julius.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're gonna give Julius another chance this year though, man. We gonna
Well,
get
yeah, you gotta be in the Lakers. He better. He better.
He
He better.
got them going to the finals.
He better.
got him
Back to the finals.
Yeah,
Hey.
Julius, and then Gifted might. Then I might have to take back my win against Gifted.
That was the worst.
I had them in the finals before the season started. I did. I had them in the finals before the season
Minnesota.
started.
Yeah, Nas Reed got something for me. That's
Come
what
on,
he said.
Nah,
Hey.
Julius gonna play well. He gonna beat the allegations.
Man, he gonna beat the allegation. This is his year to do it. And
I agree. This
And
is it.
he want that another contract. Shit, Julius finna be on his way.
If
Boy,
he
y'all about
sucks
to
in the
be
playoff,
surprised.
if he sucks in the playoffs again, then Jesus.
Damn,
I'm
that
out,
contract gonna look bad.
Miles,
Hey,
I'm
when you
out.
suck again in the playoff, that contract
I'm
gonna look
out.
so fucking
I'm out.
bad.
Chill.
Austin. I'm
He gonna have
out.
to sign like a 2-year deal. He gonna have to
Chill.
do
I
shit
gave
like
I
that
gave
to
you
prove
I
himself.
gave you mad praise earlier. Boy, that Victor Wembanyama Julius Randle take, my dog. That was
That was
tough.
a bad one. That was bad.
That was
What
tough.
was that take?
Okay, we
That
can.
That
we
Julius
can-
Randle was better than Wemby.
We can
Going
now
into the
remember.
year.
Now remember when we
What?
said this.
I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
this was in the beginning
No,
of the
not you.
season.
Jules said it.
Yeah, this was in the
Who said
beginning of the
this?
season.
It had to
I
be
said this-
Chill.
I said this in the beginning of the season, and of course, I had to come off that. Like, okay, no, you was wrong
Took him
about
30
that.
games.
Yeah, you wrong about that. Yes, you are wrong about that.
but it's hard to say like better at what.
Hey, Mars, I got to slide. I gotta
The
go
game
to
of
the gym.
basketball. The game of basketball.
Numbers like affect.
Mars,
on
you
the
heard
game.
me? I got to slide. I got to go to the gym.
Oh, America's
All right,
basketball.
yo. Later, brother.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah, I see ya.
Mm-hmm. As you were
Yeah,
saying,
that's
Moss.
That's a bad take, but I get what you're saying, Chill. As far as like the season going into the season, I think that some people thought that Julius Randle was going to really flourish playing with
Yeah.
Minnesota, with Anthony Edwards, and having a big like that. So I get it.
You giving him some bad. It was a bad take. It was always going
It
to
was.
It was
I
never
get
going
what
to
you-
be. It was
I had to
never
come
going
off
to be.
that.
MP13 said, chill, you got to come off the patience idea. You're technically correct, but with contract sizes and how fast coaches get fired, teams want a fast return on investment unless you're tanking. The baseline skill level to be a starter has risen. That's about
That, and that's a problem. And that what you're doing is you advocating exactly what the problem is. That all of these teams, they're so quick to everything's got to be right now. There's a reason why you sign a dude to a 4 or 5 year deal, because you're investing in the future. You ain't signing them to a 1 year deal. You ain't got a bunch of dudes under contract for 1 year. So, as you were saying, Moss.
But the arbiter, the person who sent the original super chat about what to help Orlando on offense, he said it's not about being quick, chill. We're not trading Suggs. Just help him out on offense. Wendell, Isaac, and Jet Howard are on the block, plus picks. Someone to pair with Suggs and let him move back to the natural 2. 300?
3% right now.
300, 3% right now. I don't know what that part was,
Mhm.
but he's saying basically we want Jalen Suggs to stay. Merry Christmas.
All right, Swiper.
Couple more. We got the Jupiter said, shout out to Penn for inadvertently creating the Steph Curry beat the smartest defender in NBA history in the playoffs agenda. That's Fred VanVleet, obviously. Jesus.
Yep.
Marcel Goat said, I can finally send a super chat since Ron ain't here. Give us the Cavs. The Heat going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Who needs Jimmy when we got Tyler Hero?
No.
I don't
No,
think anyone
no.
has the Heat in the
No,
game.
we're not
I
awarding
am
bad
rooting for the Heat. I want the Heat to go back to the finals.
No, Mars.
Jimmy
No,
Butler.
Mars. We're
I want
not
that to
awarding bad behavior. No, we're not. Y'all suck.
I
No.
want the Heat to go back to the finals. I'm
Go
sorry. I
ahead.
want it to happen. I want
Straight
it to
on that.
happen.
Nuh-uh.
The Arbiter sent another empty super chat.
Thanks, bro.
DSG Piccolo said the Magic needs shooting, but how many shooting point guards could be available? But real talk, pill talk. I don't say that. Okay, but real talk, pill talk. I need CP3 in Portland next year. His experience would be crucial for a guy like Scoot. I do think
Could help.
CP3 in Portland would be good.
He could
will.
help, sure. Mhm.
He also played all 82 this year, which is crazy. But shout out to Chris Paul.
Mhm.
DSG Piccolo said, "Chill. Do you not know of the BBLs in Atlanta? Zion's freaky self can't go there. Gonna be dribbling more off the court than on."
So New Orleans is just as wild. So anyway.
Mad Max Sports Talk said trade Trey is the answer.
Mhm.
Michael Morgan asked who Atlanta's trading for Zion. It's going to be Jalen Johnson, maybe Risa Shea, some picks, whatever. MP13 with similar sentiment to DSG said, do you guys want to put Zion's freaky self in Atlanta? He's not going to any practices and getting no sleep. They need to alter his contract if he's going there.
Yeah.
I don't have any comment on what Zion gets.
I don't either.
Prod by P said, not a number one on a contender. The Hawks should trade Trey. You think the Hawks should trade Trey?
I'm not out on this team yet, yo. I'm not. Mm-mm.
I'm not out on the team, but I think if you're gonna get your like the Giannis situation. I mean, not the Giannis. Excuse me. The Joel Embiid situation.
Mhm.
Now is the best time if you're gonna do it to do it. Because
I just
let's hope he has see how this playoffs goes. But if you're gonna do it and try to get max value for him, you just got Ricochet, a young player. You got Johnson, a young player. Like if you want to try to get younger and then transition into a team, now is the year to do it.
I just want one more season, Mars. One more season. I want to see what this crew looks like.
The next year.
I just want to see what this crew looks like healthy. If I could get a season of health, and I just want to see what it looks like. If it doesn't work, okay, then we can move on.
Okay. Yeah. Christ said, Swiper, you know Mars played pro, right? Yeah, obviously. I was in the NBA for like 6 years. MP13 said, chill clearing out the bar by himself. That's fire.
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I, but I'm reading these super chats late, so I'm the problem. Purple Lion 25 said, if the KD price is too high for the Rockets, would you force a trade for a star or would you run it back with the same team? I don't think the price is going to be too high. I don't think the price is too high.
I don't think the price is going to be too high, but I think I want to see. I would, man. KD and Dallas would be crazy. Would be absolutely crazy. They keep talking about.
He coming to Houston.
You think so? I would like to see him in Houston. I would like to see him.
He coming to Houston.
Who would they give up though?
Fred VanVleet, Cam Whitmore, and some picks.
Cam Whitmore.
That's a bucket of extra crispy in the six.
No, it's not, because we're giving Phoenix back their picks, which is valuable.
Which they need.
Get Cam Whitmore, young guy. Fred VanVleet is just to make money work. You probably have to throw in Jock Lando as well for the salary. But like Kevin Durant's on an expiring contract next year, so like they're not going to get much. So they get a young player, they get some of their picks back, and then obviously money matching. I think that's a fair trade.
And you got two scorers for Brad and Devin Booker. Yeah,
exactly. See, it all adds up. MP13 said the issue with stats is there's an infinite amount of factors / context to add to the conversation, and you can't build a formula that's all encompassing within the game because the amount of nuances in each possession. Yes, I agree. Which is why
translation L basketball.
Pretty much. DSG Piccolo said, I saw Rudy hit a turnaround fadeaway in the playoffs on Jokic. That's worse than anything that happened to Rudy. I agree. I agree. If Rudy Gobert hit and fade like he Kobe on you, I'm sorry, your defense is fake.
From right here, by the way, too, Mars. It ain't up here, it's right here.
Come on, that's fake defense. That's fake
defense.
Defense.
But you know there's always a guy that you like, I'm gonna just turn and let him shoot. Just to mess with this.
Nah. Rudy Gobert saw Jokic guarding him and was like, if there's ever a chance for me to be Kobe, it's if this guy defends me. That's what happened.
The shot clock was running out to Rudy.
That's what
defense.
happened.
Like, I had to get it
I
out.
couldn't do this to
Right,
a real
I had to
defender,
get
but
it
if
out.
Jokic guarded me, yeah, I can get this off.
I
Zero
did
chance
have to
that
get it
shot
out.
went up before 14 on the clock. There's no
Right.
way.
It was like 5
Oh,
seconds on the clock.
Rudy would ISO Jokic anytime, any place. We don't worry about that.
Super chats, Mars, focus, brother.
CO became a new member. Shout out to CO. Joshua
Mhm.
Grimes, this is interesting. He says start bench cut. 06 Kobe, 2013 LeBron, unanimous MVP Curry.
Start James, bench Bryant, cut unanimous MVP Kobe. I'm cut unanimous MVP Curry.
Austin?
I want to go third on this.
I'm gonna go. So yeah, you got it.
What was Bron's numbers that year?
27, 7 and
26.
7, 41% from 3, 57% from the field, second in DPOY. Yeah. Kobe was obviously 35 a game. Steph was 30 a game, 50, 45, 90, 70.
Yeah,
First team all defense too. Don't leave that part out.
Kobe was first team all defense.
So was James.
Yeah,
73 wins though.
I swear.
73 wins doesn't matter.
Yeah, 73 wins, and he didn't play most of the fourth quarters.
27 straight wins too for the Heat.
45% from 3, and you made 400.
Yeah, I'm going Steph unanimous. Yeah, I gotta give respect. I gotta give respect to Bron. I'll say Bron 2013 and then Kobe because 27, 7. What Kobe averaged 35, 6,
35 that year. Yep.
And it's in the West. What seed were they?
They were a 6 seed, I think. They were a 6 seed. The Heat were a 1 seed.
You know what? They were up 3-1 in that series.
They were up 3-1 and they lost. Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Bron 13 and then Kobe 06 just because of the end result. I have to think about the end result, so it's like I gotta go with that.
There you go. That's the answer. Grandpa Town Jr., aka Swiper Troll. If you could trade one player to the Nuggets and the Bucks to help Jokic and Giannis, who would it be? Get real talk to own Swiper. He is active today. Yeah, so who would you put on the Nuggets and the Bucks to make them?
Trade Michael Porter Jr. and whoever for try to get KD.
I would love.
I don't hate that.
I would love to see KD with Jokic.
I don't hate that.
Get Chris Middleton back to the Bucks, man. Get Chris Middleton back to the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean they need something like. Yeah, they need something. Maybe like a Brad. Nah, I mean,
nobody go.
Yeah, I mean, Brad just needs I feel like he needs new scenery.
Yeah, no, with that contract.
But with that contract, he doesn't want new scenery either. So it's
I don't. Yeah, he has like the best situation of any NBA player just because of what he's got going on. But
he is sitting pretty, Mars. Yes, he is.
Can't trade him. Can't cut me. Like I basically control my destiny. That's
you can cut me. You just got to pay me. So
yeah, you can't. And I ain't negotiating no pay cut. Like
zero. I need all my bread. I don't need some of them.
Shout out to Bradley Beal. Like if I was any NBA player, I'd want to be Bradley Beal personally.
Yes.
NP13 said Mars gets to host one time and he's just throwing everyone off the cliff with their bad takes. This is crazy. If you say something, I'm just going to ask someone else who may know the answer to what you said. I'm not throwing you off the cliff. Finn275 said, watching 2013 to 16 OKC, anyone ever wonder that team was built so bad around KD and Russ offensively? Yeah, I think it was built badly. Personally, I'm not. But...
They relied solely on KD and Russ to figure it out.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
And we
Dave 89 became a member. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to see that because a lot of teams lacked a lot of spacing at the time, so it's like this is kind of normal. But you go back and watch, you realize it was kind of bad. Duke Baylock said, Jordan, it didn't feel dominant because it wasn't dominant. He's a Kawhi hater, by the way. And 21 points, chill. You guys love to overrate Kawhi Leonard.
No, he wasn't.
Shout out to Duke. NP13 said, randomly choosing when defense matters is nasty. I agree. And then Nico asked, can you not dominate as a defensive-oriented player? I think you can.
100%
AG, Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
P,
Anthony Davis.
AD. Like, yeah, I definitely
you 100% can dominate.
YB01 said, who's closer, SGA to Jokic or Derrick Rose to LeBron in 2011?
I would say SGA and Jokic just because of the numbers. Is he just talking about this season?
Yeah, this season.
Third year Derrick Rose is not close to James. He's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
A 6-year, 7-year SGA is closer to Joker than a third year Derrick Rose closer to
that's prime LeBron too.
Yeah, I agree. No, he's not close to him. He's not.
Yeah, I agree.
AKA Leroy said in 2011, you can't say Joakim Noah was a top 5, top 10 center, and the same for Boozer. They made the game easy for Rose too. I mean, it was a good team, yeah, but Derrick Rose was the head of it.
Oh, he was the engine.
Yeah. NP13 said Rose. Oh, go ahead.
No, top 10. He's comparing a top 10 to what? Top 2, top 3.
Yeah, D Wade was a top 5 player in the NBA. Like,
top 3 and at most top 4. Chris Bosh in his position.
Yeah, like, it's different. It's different situations. MP13 said Rose was dominant until he got to the playoffs and played like trash. All these guards who are backed by elite defenses share the same story. They do nothing in the playoffs.
Rose wasn't bad in the playoffs. He just got skunked by the Heat. He just got shut down by them.
Yeah, he struggled against the Pacers too, but
he didn't struggle against Atlanta.
Oh yeah, he struggled against the Pacers. I remember that. I was watching Paul George.
As a guard, what guard might not at that time struggle a little bit with the Pacers? Roy Hibbert, David West.
Yeah, well, that defense was good. Yeah,
Danny Granger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. One buddy said, "How do you James fans feel about Rich Paul saying Bosh wasn't a part of the big 3? Do you guys agree?"
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I disagree.
He was on Team USA. How could you not be a? If you're the top 15 player, a top 12 player in the league,
yeah,
yeah, I think it was a big 3. I don't agree with Rich Paul there at all. Football Breakdown said Rose deserved it. Talking about the MVP, head-to-head matters to me. He got it. Jordan West said, "Will Amen Thompson be the toughest matchup Steph has ever faced in a series?" He's talking about defensively.
One of them, maybe.
I mean, he did have to deal with Tony Allen.
I feel like Tony was guarding Clay a lot too, though. I don't know.
I'm not going to say what I think about Amen Thompson. So
that's tough. I mean, Amen Thompson has the potential to be that. I think for sure. The potential to be that for sure.
Your Highness Charles says, "My uncle was a big New York Nets fan in the ABA back in the 70s, and Swiper's spot on about Dr. J. The Knicks actually forced the Nets to New Jersey when they joined the NBA, but prime Dr. J would have had Showtime level of popularity."
He would have. Yeah, he would have been that big of a deal.
I mean, he was the reason, I want to say the reason why the merger even happened is because the NBA wanted Dr. J in their league. So
that was the only reason. Even though 185 players ultimately ended up in the NBA from the ABA, but this guy, this doesn't happen unless we get this guy. 485.
Masenko G said, "Red rose, white ceiling, nobody, no casket. If you know, you know."
I don't know what that means.
I do not know. 8 Gates Lee said, "Happy WrestleMania weekend." Oh, and the playoffs too. I don't watch wrestling, but yes, merry playoffs. They do start tomorrow. iOS Inc. said, "If Ant has to guard AR, who is one of the best foul baiters in the league, and Ant gets suspended with one more tech, then that could be a disadvantage for them because he'd be more prone to argue with the refs." I think the techs get reset going into the playoffs, so I don't think he's at risk of missing.
Yeah, does it?
I think so. So I don't think he's at risk of that, but getting in foul trouble with Austin Reeves, he is at risk. So maybe you want to stay away from that. Pimp Name Slickback, we got a couple more. Pimp Name Slickback said, "No, I'm with Swiper. We need the Lakers to lose. I heard Lowe going on a rant the other night on Playback saying that he's not trading Austin Reeves for Evan Mobley or Jaren Jackson." Yeah, I think you're out of your mind if you're not trading Austin Reeves for Evan Mobley.
You are fired as a GM.
If you're not doing that, I think you're out of your mind.
You are fired if you're not trading Mobley.
Jaren Jackson, but Mobley, no way.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson, but Evan Mobley's crazy. Mike, this was for Jordan. I apologize for not reading it on time. He said, "Jordan, do you reckon you hate Steph more than Toronto hates LeBron? Remember, they hate him for LeBronto and now Drake." Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what the life is like in Toronto just with LeBron. Solomon said, "Chill was onto something. Kobe White moves to a Cole Anthony role, sell everything else to build around Mattis and Giddey. Bulls are stuck right now in the middle." I just don't think you build around Josh Giddey, but that's besides the point. And then final super chat from Christos Karasoulis. I tried. Playoff Brunson, OG taking a leap. Tibbs already outcoached Bickerstaff before on the Cavs, but you don't know because the Pistons are crash outs. Shaking my head. I think he's upset that some of you guys picked the Pistons over the Knicks. But anyway, that does do it. I want to thank you, Austin, for pulling up. It's always
my man, the big fella. I'm coming to you in the post, big fella. I'm coming to you in the post.
Hey.
I get off the pill. There's a bunch of people that don't get off the pill.
Austin in today's league shooting the 3 the way he was at 6,
I get 10, off
6,
the
11.
100%.
Some can say a bit before your time.
Yes, sir.
Do you before we got? Do you think he was before your time? Do you think you wish you came up in today's game, today's era?
Sure, I wish I did. Just the way amount of threes that are being shot and the way the game is getting played now. Like they didn't really have a. They had my position, but my position was also a taller three at that time.
Mhm.
So I would have been able to move between positions more fluidly, and then also teams would have been valued me probably a little bit higher because I could play two positions. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that factor for sure. I think for sure.
Yeah, because I think not to derail it because we do have to get out of here. I do think that in today's game with the way because like you were, in my opinion, I think you were a sniper. Like I genuinely like at that size too. I do think there would be a lot more value for a guy of your skill set in today's game as opposed to like back then where it was still emphasis on physicality.
I mean, I had Jason Maxiel as my starting foreman, and I had Charlie Villanueva backing him up, and then I had Ben Wallace starting along with Kwame Brown backing him up. So we had a huge lineup. So
yeah, it's just very different.
With Tayshaun Prince, so we're both 6'11", 6'10". We were a big team. But it was big at the 3 position, smaller at the 4 position, and even taller.
Yeah, the Pistons are a weird team. But yeah, we do have to get out of here. We are on Playback tonight. We are going to be watching the playing games. So tap into that, play straight on Playback. But thank you to Austin for pulling up. Chill as always, and everyone else. Leave a comment, like the video, all of that good stuff. And we will see you back on Monday. Merry Christmas, guys.